All right. Yes. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing. 1, 2, 3 testing, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Another episode for the PM Masculinity. Today we are gonna just jump in and just do another Andrew Wilson debate. So this is gonna be against Naima. I think this first time they went toe to toe. This second time was more crazy. It was crazier, I would say. And hopefully we can just get some good information about this and just disseminate feminism, which is one of my main goals here. Just make sure we can disseminate that belief system. Let's jump in and see what's going on, guys.
To a debate edition of the Whatever podcast, coming to you live from Santa Barbara, California. I'm your host and moderator, Brian Atlas. A few quick announcements. This podcast is viewer supported. Please consider donating through Streamlabs. That's streamlabs.com/whatever. We're going to have Q&A questions, or if you want to leave a statement for $200 and up, $199 and up. There will be no instant TTS, so these are going to be at various breaks, and they're going to be batched. You can see the description for all triggers and full details. Without further ado, I'm joined today by Andrew Wilson, host of The Crucible. He is a blood sports debater and a political commentator. Also joining us today is Naima. She's a senior at USC. She's a political social commentator and content creator. The topic today is feminism, and we might hit some other topics too. I want a good, clean debate, no interrupting. I will issue a verbal warning, followed by a yellow card, which you cede conversational priority for 1 minute or until your opponent yields, followed by a red card, which results in ceding conversational priority for 2 minutes or until the offending party yields their time. There will be no opening statements, straight into open convo. Let's get
wow,
on.
straight up.
Yeah, I mean, we were just discussing. I think it's funny. Me and Andrew were actually supposed to do a Jubilee surrounded debate for our kind of part 2 of this conversation, but what ended up happening. Now, I don't work for Jubilee. I'm not going to speak for their administration, but I think the general consensus. Do you know what the theme of the video was supposed to be?
Feminism.
No, so the people who were surrounded, it was supposed to be like Jubilee All-Stars. So it was like surrounded Jubilee All-Stars. And so, of course, we all know each other because it's all the people who've been in Jubilee videos before. And I think the general consensus was that we wanted to debate someone bigger, to be honest with you.
Wow.
So that's why they brought in Charlie Kirk.
That's crazy already. Wow,
and
somebody
he actually
bigger.
was assassinated I want to say a week before we were supposed to do that debate. So I don't know.
Condescending as hell.
Got
Wow.
completely canceled. They rescheduled it, and now we don't know who it's going to be.
Somebody bigger.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty intense. It was weird. The debate was actually scheduled for the day of his memorial.
So you guys all said no to me?
I don't think it was no.
Sounds like you were saying no.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of no.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, not a lot of people really know about the Crucible.
I mean, a lot more
not
people.
your Crucible.
A lot more people know. Well, yeah, actually, tell me the names of the people, and let's see if they do know about the Crucible. Who are the names of the Jubilee All-Stars?
I mean, I'm not speaking on behalf of anyone else.
I know, but what are
myself.
the names of the Jubilee All-Stars who would have been there?
I mean, lots of people. Parker, Dean, Zena.
Parker knows me well. Dean knows me well. Who else?
Yeah, we're not talking about us. Of course, we all know people in the political
Well, I thought you just
sphere.
said nobody. I thought you just said nobody knows the Crucible.
Andrew, I'm talking about the world, the audience. Everyone in a political sphere, of course, knows each other. We're all in an insular community, but outside of this community, do you think you're as big as Charlie Kirk?
No, of course not. But
okay, exactly.
Who is?
Candace Owens, Ben Shapiro.
I mean, Candace Owens wasn't bigger.
Carlson.
No, I don't think any of them were bigger than Charlie Kirk.
Nick Crowder.
Nick Crowder?
Well, I mean, they're all bigger than you.
Who the hell is Nick Crowder?
Isn't he that guy who does the podcast where he's all mean? I don't know. That's kind of all you guys do.
You mean Steven Crowder?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Such
Charlie
a condescending person, man. Like she's trying to pretend that you don't know what the hell these people are.
Kirk is definitely bigger than all of them.
Sorry, I'm not a huge fan of Steven Crowder's content.
Oh, I mean, were you a big fan of any of their content?
No, but everyone knew about them.
Yeah, so I understand. No, I get it.
I mean, I know, Andrew. It sucks to hear that.
But
you know.
they had reached out to me, not me to them. So
Yeah. But, you know,
I mean,
it's
I guess
kind of a two-sided thing.
I guess I don't know. You know, I've debated most of those people in the political circles on places like Pierce Morgan. I've never seen you there.
Well, that was kind of part of it. Yeah, I actually got invited to Pierce Morgan. I didn't do it because they asked me like 20 minutes before I was supposed to go on.
How come? Well, now we're speaking about this. How come you canceled on Tim Pool?
Oh, I canceled on Tim Pool because I got a brand deal that was paying me more and I didn't have to leave my house. Actually, I can talk about the Tim Pool thing.
Yeah, because
that got a little
he said
weird.
that you agreed to come on and then canceled.
Okay, so it's very interesting that you say that. When I met with Tim Pool's team, they were not willing to pay me to travel across the country to debate.
Well, they
and
were going to take care of your
also-
flight and hotel.
That's not paying me though. That's paying for my flight. They would have had to do that for anyone.
Yeah.
And they also were not, they didn't know who I was supposed to debate yet. So I told them, I will agree to do a debate so long as I know who I'm debating and I accept the terms of that debate.
Has Jubilee paid you?
Yeah, of course they pay me.
What do
Everybody
they pay?
pays
What do
me.
they pay you?
That's not your business.
Well, they pay you $25 for gas, right?
No, they pay me more than that.
To show up for the Surrounded?
Of course.
Well, that's interesting because they don't pay any of the conservatives to show
Spotify,
up
what's
for the
up, man?
Surroundeds.
What's
Well,
up?
that's a
What's
shame.
up?
They
Thank you
should
so much for
advocate
tuning in,
Just
man.
so you guys know, now we
Make
know
sure you like
this,
to subscribe,
that
bro.
they pay the conservatives $25 to show up, but they actually pay the progressives.
I don't think
money.
they pay all the progressives. I'm
Just
not
you?
every single. Yeah.
Oh.
I make them pretty good content. I
Yeah.
mean, you don't think it's fair for people to get paid for good work?
I mean, I guess
It's
that's
successful
fine. I
work.
just think it's funny. It's interesting that the conservatives who are in the Surrounded.
When I first
tend
started
not to
doing
get
the
paid.
Jubilee videos, I didn't get paid, and then the more and more successful I was on their platform, the more they offered me. That's
Whatever that
generally
means,
how-
right? Whatever that means, successful. Yeah, because these people don't debate. These people just go back and forth with their own opinion.
It works. It's almost like a promotion.
I understand.
That's
I
how
get it.
most jobs work.
I get it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yo, Myron, what's up, man?
Leftists like Parker and Dean, and you guys refuse to debate with me.
Because you're not big enough, Andrew.
Yeah.
You don't have a fan base.
You're
There's
bigger
no
than I'm bigger than
purpose.
all of you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I saw some clip, man, and it was painful. It was painful, especially in the first hour. I know.
Way bigger than
Oof.
all of you.
We can go follower for
But I'm
follower.
logging-
How many
Go
followers
ahead.
do you have
I'm
on Instagram right now?
Instagram's not a fight.
I'm locked
You
in.
could take your top off and get 800,000 followers
But
on
I
Instagram.
didn't take my top off, and I got 150,000.
And so what? That's nothing.
How many do you have then?
I have over 250K just on YouTube with
How
an
many do you have
average
on
live
Instagram?
audience of 7,000 to 9,000. What about
look
you?
at how badly you have to prove
When
your
you-
worth right
when
now.
you go live-
Look at how fragile
This is classic gaslighting. What she's doing right now is trying to gaslight the conversation. She's trying to set up the tone of the conversation by simply gaslighting. And
you are.
when
Just because I
you-
told you nobody wanted to
when
debate
you go
you.
when you go live, how many live viewers do you get?
I don't go live.
You don't go live.
No,
If you did go live, how many do you think you'd get?
I don't know. I don't go live.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I do a lot better than Dean and Parker when I go live on YouTube, and they do. So
I think that's debatable. I'd say
It's
Dean and
not
Parker have a
debatable.
significantly bigger following across platforms. Adam Mockler, all of these people are bigger than you.
I don't think so.
Andrew, look at how badly you have to defend your self-worth. This is so sad.
You're the one who attacked
gaslighting
it.
is crazy.
I'm not attacking it. I'm telling
I'm
you what
telling- I'm
happened.
giving you
Nobody
the-
wanted to debate you because if it's an All-Star Jubilee
it's because-
episode, we want an All-Star
Because you
adversary.
guys were all cowards.
I mean, listen to this. If
You
it's-
guys were just all cowards.
We're not Andrew, if I was a
Dean and
coward-
Parker, tell me why Dean and Parker won't actually agree. I've said I'd give them $20,000 to show up and do a debate live, so they can't get fed
Correct,
answers
Spotlight.
from their little teams.
Andrew, if I was
refuse.
a coward, I wouldn't be debating you right now.
They refuse.
The
You say your name Splaffy or Spleefy? Splaffy or Spleefy?
point was, it was an all-stars debate, and you are not an all-star adversary.
Gotcha, you're right.
It's crazy to say that Andrew Wilson is not an all-star debater. It's crazy, man. I mean, it's something that I think the conversation of just, I think there's something wrong in society when we're putting young people in their top of the hierarchy. Like, there has to be some kind of humility here between Andrew and Naima, or Naima, whatever her name is. Don't you think with a person with Andrew, you at least want to show some humility? But no, you think you're better than him. It's just speak to the level of ego that we have in this society.
I mean, I am. You didn't get picked.
But you're here.
yeah,
So
of course
anyway,
I'm here.
I'm
I don't
ready.
give a fuck.
I'm ready when you are, all-star.
So Splify.
Okie dokie.
So go ahead with your criticisms of my worldview.
You're not a Jubilee All-Star. Aren't we starting with
The
democracy or
gaslighting
no?
is crazy. Wow,
Whatever you
man.
want to
This-
start with.
Okay, Andrew.
Let's, why don't we start with, unless you want to get into the criticisms of his specific positions?
I would rather go through all of our positions and then do criticisms of
And
them.
then, Andrew, before we get into the prompts, as I understood it, you wanted to respond to some of Naima's specific criticisms that you saw online, or
Yeah,
you
but we
wanna
can do that as we go
do
through.
it as you okay.
Criticism
The
to you
first-
that I saw online.
Sure.
I didn't post anything about you online.
Oh yeah, you did.
I made a
I have clips.
TikTok.
I have clips.
A singular TikTok.
I know, but you lied a lot in it,
I lied in it. Andrew, it's all based on a debate we did together.
I know.
We were both here.
which is why I have all the counter clips for it.
Andrew, I literally posted a video of you not being able to open a pickle jar. What's your counter for that?
I
The
did open the
gaslighting.
pickle jar.
You didn't open an olive jar.
But this is chain language, right? This is sign language. You're trying to use shame, and the way a lot of females they do shame and even sign language is by questioning your masculinity. So currently, what she's doing is questioning Andrew's masculinity. See, Andrew, you didn't open a pickup yard. Look at how weak you are. A pickup yard? Yeah, you're a weak man. That's what she's trying to do.
So not a pickle jar then? Did you open the olive jar?
No.
No.
But
And why?
It was the other pronunciation. So it's like Spotify. It's Spotify, I
The
guess,
point
right?
was that
Spotify.
you were supposed to be
But
stronger
why
than
did
me
you
as a
say
man.
that wasn't any point that was ever made? You lied.
Is that not the point of force doctrine?
No. And by the way, you said it was greasy. You said the jar was greasy. Why didn't
No,
you
I
tell people
didn't.
that? Yeah, you did.
You said the jar was greasy
So did
over
you.
and over and over.
So did you.
You don't remember? Do you want to pull up the video
Yeah.
of him being incapable of opening the olive
You want to
jar?
pull up the video of you being incapable of opening it?
Andrew, I never said I was going to be able to.
So the point is, though, is like, it's really funny to me.
Opening the olive
You want to pull up the...
Sorry, I
Yeah.
was trying to pull.
So the thing is, it's funny is like, you did, though. You did say, yeah, it's greasy. And then you just omitted all
No,
of
I
that.
didn't.
You
I
did.
said it's not greasy.
Nope, you didn't. Promise.
Will you just pull
Hang
up
on,
the
hang on. I got $1,000 in my backpack right now that I'll bet you that you said it was greasy when you were asked. I'll put it on the table right now. Put my money where my mouth is.
I'm not really a betting woman.
Yeah, so
sorry.
you're not really sure if you lied about it or not?
Why would it be a lie?
Well, because I think that there was intentionality behind it. So you got drugged.
So what you're trying to
Well, what I
say
think
is that
is-
you were incapable of opening
Well, I
that
think you
olive
got
jar because it
drugged.
was greasy, even though you dried it off with several paper towels, your T-shirt, and then
You
your
couldn't-
assistant was able to open it
Yeah.
despite how greasy
But
it was.
you couldn't.
Andrew, you
And
couldn't
Brian-
either.
neither could Brian.
But the point was, it was an
Leave me
attempt
out
to.
of this,
Yeah.
please leave me.
But the point
Uh-huh.
was, it was an attempt to emasculate me and show how weak I am, and it turns out that you are just as weak.
Do you? How would that demonstrate that I was weaker than you?
Because neither of us could open.
Do
the
you want
olive
to arm
jar.
wrestle?
No.
No,
I
why?
don't want to touch
It's just
you.
ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous shit ever, and it has nothing to do with force doctrine.
You're so pressed
So it's Spleefy, right? Spleefy? Spleefy.
about it. You just couldn't open an olive jar, man. Get over it.
Okay, bro. I'm just telling you that you
couldn't open an
have
olive
gone out
jar.
of your way to lie over and over about my positions.
Gone out of your way to lie. Dude, your name is not in my mouth. I don't give a fuck about you
Just
after I
saying that
leave
you
this
lie a lot
room.
about my positions.
I played a clip of you.
What? Okay, but I'm going to play clips that'll show the lies about my positions.
I
Now-
made one video about
and you lied a
that
lot in the video.
specific moment.
Lied a lot about my positions. You said things like, this man wants to get rid of women's rights, and you said all sorts of things.
You said that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Andrew, I just watched our debate back. Yes, the fuck you did.
Okay, tell me my positions then. What is force doctrine? Let's
Force
start with
doctrine
that.
is that whole theory that might makes right.
Thank you,
Essentially,
Slippy.
it is more. Okay, then why don't you define your
No,
theory?
you have to listen, first, you can't criticize a position unless you can stably tell me what you think the position means before you criticize it. So what is it? What's force
Well,
doctrine?
your position is descriptive. So do you want to define your terms before we argue on whether or not
I want to know what
we
you
agree?
think force doctrine is, because you're critical of it. How can you be critical of a position you can't define?
Do any of you guys know what she's trying to do right now? Let me know in the chat. What do you think she's trying to do? Why do you think she's trying to use this tactic, not to move forward with the debate? She's just using sign language and just gaslighting. Why do you think she's doing this? Let me know in the chat.
I mean, I think force doctrine is generally the belief that those who their rights.
No,
No?
no.
Okay, then explain it to me, Andrew.
Yeah, force doctrine is the critical belief that rights come to women specifically from men, that women always have to appeal to men for the rights collectively.
Okay, so do you believe that anybody has like inherent rights? Are there any inherent human rights regardless of
Unless you
strength?
can ground them in God, I don't believe that you can ground rights in anything. And if you can, go ahead and do so.
Okay, so then based on your religion, what are the inherent rights that humans
Well,
have?
first, I need you to understand what the criticism is. So when I say to you, I don't believe that you can ground rights absent religion, do you agree that that's true or false?
I believe that that's false. Of
Okay,
course you
then
ground
can
rights.
you ground rights for me, absent
mean-
religion?
Do you not know what rights are?
Can you ground them absent religion? Go ahead.
Grounding rights absent of religion. I mean, there's natural law, there's humanistic theories on law.
Well, I don't know which one are you going to go with, but go with one of them.
Okay, well, let's see. Which one would you prefer? We could do humanistic theory. We could do deontological
I
ethics.
literally don't give a shit. I just want you to ground rights outside of outside of God.
It says that audio is messed up. There's lag. We're getting a decent bit rate here. I don't see what's wrong with the audio.
Nick, you got to send me. Okay, continue, guys. Continue with the debate.
I guess, what do you mean ground rights? Do you mean justify human rights?
I mean this. When I say ground rights, what are you appealing to? Let's just make it easy. What are you appealing to for rights?
Morality.
Okay.
That can either be morality through religion, or that can be morality
Well, you
through
don't-
natural law.
but
That can be
you-
morality through a social contract.
I'm not interested in all
That
of...
can be morality
yeah.
through creating an egalitarian
Not
society that is
interested
functioning.
at all in possibilities. I'm interested in the one that you have.
These
So
aren't
what-
possible. I
Can
mean,
you tell me
any
what
and
you...
all of them.
I just want to know what you ground rights...
Yeah, correct. She can defend her argument. Yep, that's why. So right now, her only position that she has is using these very bad faith tactics. And Spliffy, you're correct. She cannot argue in favor of her own worldview, so she's trying to sideway or make sure Andrew can just get out of focus and defending something that they don't want, that she don't want to defend herself. So she's had to use gaslight or sign language or a lot of illogical fallacies just to make sure they can talk, but they don't have to go through her worldview. You don't want to touch her worldview at all.
in?
I ground rights in morality.
Morality.
Rights are moral.
She doesn't even believe that. Morality. Like she doesn't believe it.
In morality.
Yeah, like morality. She doesn't even
Rights
believe
are
it.
moral. It is just and moral to give people basic rights.
What do you ground morality in?
Are you going to keep asking me, or are you
Yes.
going to actually like make an opinion? This is what you do, Andrew. You
Yes, it
ask
is.
questions and questions and questions so
So
that you don't actually have to form an opinion
that's
and
great.
defend it.
That's great. So
Stop
what do you
using
ground-
descriptive arguments.
what do you ground
Make an
morality-
opinion.
what do you ground
Do you
morality in?
believe that humans have
What do you
inherent
ground
value?
morality in?
Do you believe that humans have inherent
We
value?
can't go anywhere with the debate unless you can tell me what you ground morals in.
So do you exclusively ground morals in your belief in God?
I've already said 5 times yes. Now I
Okay,
need to
so
know what
if
you
God,
ground.
But hold on. Listen to me. If God did not exist,
I'm not interested
would there
until
be
you tell
zero
me.
morals?
Not interested until you tell me what you ground morality in. Tell me what you ground morality in.
I don't even understand why you're asking this question.
Okay, so
Where are you going with
you
this?
said, I asked you, do you believe that rights can be grounded outside of God? You said yes. So I'm asking what they're grounded in outside of God.
Social order.
What does that mean?
It means creating a society that functions.
You
If no humans have rights, then you can't function as a society. Everyone would just be attacking each other all the time.
so you would have a society that functioned?
No, you would have an anarchic society if there is
And
no
that would
social
be
order.
what would make that unfunctional? It would be something
I mean, no
that
one could
functioned in a way you
collaborate
didn't
with
like.
each other. Everyone would be constantly killing each other and maiming each other and raping
But
each
do you
other.
see how you're just making an appeal that morality just is preference based, just fits your preference?
It's not preference based. It's a necessity. It's a human necessity.
It's not necessary
Yes,
for you to have
rights are
rights.
necessary for survival. The
Demonstrate
right
it.
to
Wow.
life.
Right is just necessary for survival. I don't know about that. Rights are necessary for survival. What does that mean? If you're alone, or let's say I'm in the middle of the woods, right? and there's no government, there's no institution, no nothing. We're looking at each other. Now, all of a sudden, we see let's say there's like a piece of, let's say like a deer or something. And one of us was that piece of that deer. So how does the right in the concept of right comes into play? Because we're both hungry, we both want that piece of deer. How would the concept of right would just kick in and just make sure that they do what is called the correct thing? How? Unless you have force, unless you have a kind of a force that can make these concept of right real. These people have no idea what they're talking about.
The right to life?
Yes, the right to life is necessary for survival.
You think that there's a right to life?
Yes, of course I believe there's a right to life.
Okay. And what do you
Abortion.
ground that in?
I
Abortion.
ground that in our
She
ability
just conceded the abortion argument.
to survive as a species. If nobody had a right to life, then what would stop Brian from just shooting up everyone in this room?
Force.
Our society could not function based solely on force.
Then how come
We
societies?
would all just be beating each other up all
Then
the
how
time.
come societies right now do?
Societies don't exist solely on force. We have tons of other forms of power that exist in society.
Do
She's
you agree with
dumb,
me
bro.
that there are societies which function purely on force?
Yeah, and they suck. Name a singular one that exists that is like fun to live in.
Do you see how now you're changing the goalpost? So
I'm not
you said
changing the
before,
goalposts. I'm trying to create a society.
Remember how we weren't
that is
talking about
complete.
Exactly. I think Myrid or Myro, that's what your name is. You said morals come from social order. Did I hear that stupidity correctly? If that is true, then she can't say the people with the mustache were evil. There we go. She can't. She can't. Because unless you have like a structure or system that you already follow, that it goes beyond or what we can perceive, she have no authority to say that people from the mustache were wrong. And this is dangerous territory. This is dangerous territory.
options. Can I at least make the
You've
point?
interrupted me like 5 times since we started.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
sure.
Well, so anyway, where you switched the goalpost here was you said that societies cannot exist. They can't exist absent rights. And my contention here is that they can. They can exist just via force.
Eventually,
Hang on.
exist.
Let me make
They
the
will not
point.
work.
Let me make the point. They can exist absent rights. And you say that rights are necessary for societies to exist. Clearly, that's not true. I can point to you right now societies where they don't have rights.
Name a singular society where no human has any rights that exist.
North Korea. Anything you have that's a right comes from the state.
They still have a right to life. So.
No, there's no right to life. They take you out in the field and shoot you if you look
So
at
then
them
why
cross-eyed.
don't you go live in North Korea?
Well, is
Yo,
that an
that's a real gaslighting right there.
argument?
Would you like to go live
Is that
in
an
North Korea,
argument?
Andrew?
Is that an argument?
Are you arguing in favor of North
Yo.
Korea? You think the North Korean government structure is fun?
This
A
is
vibe? Like,
this is
why
sad,
would
bro.
anyone want to go there?
What does that have to do with anything I just said?
Because it's not a sustainable society.
Okay, but
It's a society that perpetuates human
let's
suffering
try this again.
because no one has any
So,
free will.
I know that.
Why don't you
So
make
as
an
we're
opinion
doing,
now?
as
Why
we're
don't you give an
doing,
opinion
as we're
now,
doing the
Andrew?
obfuscation here, I just want to point this out. I asked you how you ground rights. You said rights exist absent preference, and I said, okay, if they exist absent preference, how come I can point? Well, you said you have to have rights for there to even be a society. I can point to a society where humans have no rights, and clearly that's a society. So I don't understand how it is that you think that you can't have societies which exist without rights, and you still haven't given me accounting for where rights come from. And so it's critical. I gave you my opinion about force doctrine. I told you what I think about rights.
So do you-
And so
okay.
hang on. And so I told you what I think about rights. Right now, we're just clarifying the language so you can't do the fallacy of equivocation. I don't want you to move between separate definitions of a word using vagueness, which is fallacious, a fallacious debate move. I want you instead to be very clear on what rights are, what you ground them in, where they come from, and that's what we're debating about if we're talking about rights. So please do so.
We're not debating about that. We're debating about force doctrine and the morality of force doctrine. Do you believe that force doctrine is moral? Do you believe that it is moral to take rights away from people on the basis
This
of
is
force?
pure
Do you
obfuscation.
believe in coercive power?
This is pure obfuscation.
But my issue
I
with
do
you,
think it's
Andrew-
fair for you to answer his.
It's, yeah, it's
is.
unreal.
I think, honestly, Andrew, my issue with
I
where
don't
you're
care about
going in
anything
this
you're about to
debate-
say. Just want to know
If
where
you don't care
rights
about
come
anything
from.
that I'm about to say, then why should I bother to
Where do
speak?
rights come from?
I believe that humans have natural rights. I believe that
Based
humans
on
are
what?
entitled to
Natural rights.
Yes.
Okay, so natural right theory is what Nala believe, or I'm sorry, not Nala. What is it? Naima. Sorry. Natural rights. Okay, and
I don't think
where
that they have to be ordained by God.
and
I
where-
believe that everyone has an inherent set of rights.
they're inherent.
Yes, natural,
Okay.
inherent, these are synonyms.
So where do they come from?
They come from our existence. What do you mean? It's a right. It's not a physical thing. Like, you
This
get
is-
that, right?
No.
No?
Can you explain it for me?
No. Well, the right to
can't-
life,
yeah.
life comes from being alive. So what do you mean, where does it come from?
Can't-
Where does life come from?
No,
Well,
where-
life
where do
comes
the-
from when a man and a woman are in love and they hold hands for a very long time.
Yeah.
They can make a baby. That's where life comes from.
So
Oh, that's
these
what it is.
natural rights that you claim that we have, which are inherent, if
Yes.
they're inherent, does that mean that everybody has them?
Yes, I believe everyone has them, but they can be infringed upon, and that is immoral.
But then here's the thing. Here's the thing. And it's true what she's saying, and let me explain why. From her worldview, it is true. That's why when people from her worldview get into positions of power, they end up releasing criminals. Because the way they think that you being alive is just a right. Therefore, it's crazy. Like when you see a lot of these places where a lot of these kind of ideas are being implemented, they always end up in being in a total chaos because they do believe this, guys. This is not an accident. They do believe this kind of an idea of you're supposed to have this inalienable right, but that's why you should not be in prison. That's why if you commit 20 felonies, it should still be out. Because, yeah, she's right. In her worldview, this is where it comes from. This is what these people do when they get into power. It makes
I
sense.
see. So
That
you-
is the definition, of, in my opinion, of morality is infringing
Does that make
on
sense?
one's
I don't know if I
natural
can
rights.
So
explain
you're
myself
born with
correctly here.
rights.
Yes.
So they're not social constructs that we make up? They exist outside of that?
Well, I mean, it's not a physical thing.
Oh, it's not. Well, I'll tell you a couple of terms. Objective and then subjective. Objective means that it does not depend on a mind. An example is that tree out there would exist if there was no
Andrew, I know what objective and subjective means.
Then tell me what subjective means.
Subjective is something that is malleable, it can change. It's not a fact.
No. Subjective, no. Philosophical subjectivity just means depends on a mind.
Okay, so that's exactly what I just said.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
So
very
anyway,
close.
back to this though. I was trying to give you the example so I could clarify the position. I want to try to have a good faith debate. I
Yes,
don't know why
Andrew.
you refuse to clarify your positions for me.
I just clarified my position for
Okay,
you. So now clarify
so
yours
is
for me.
it so are rights subjective?
I believe rights are subjective across society.
Then how can they be inherent?
I believe that certain rights are inherent and certain are subjective.
Okay, so how so
I mean, there's no limit on
so
how many
which
rights a
in-
human can
which
have.
inherent rights are objective?
Which inherent rights are objective? I think that the right to life is objective.
Okay, so then if it's objective and it does not depend on human minds, where can we find it?
We can find it in being alive. What the fuck are you talking about?
Where can you find the right to life absent the grounding in meaning all minds are gone? Remember I told you objective means you don't need any human minds. I tried to explain this to you a second ago. Now you just walked into a horrible trap. Objective means does not depend on a mind. What you said just got done telling me is that you have an inherent right to life and it's objective. That would mean that that right does not require human minds. So
No.
you should be able to point to where it is. Where is it?
Andrew, rights are not physical, though. Not everything that is objective is physical.
Oh my God.
Okay, then what is everything that's objective if it's not physical?
Well, you just defined it.
What?
You just
What
defined
are you
what is
talking about?
objective.
An objective means it requires or does not
Can you
require
just Google
human
objectivity?
minds.
Honestly, this is getting annoying.
Philosophical objectivity requires minds. Put that in.
No, don't put requires minds. Just put definition.
I'll do it for both of you.
Thank you.
So objectivity The quality of being objective here.
Thank you, Merriam-Webster.
Yeah.
You have to put philosophical
nowadays.
objectivity requires minds.
Okay.
That way we can clarify
Let's just
it.
do a basic definition of
I'll do hers,
objectivity
and I'll
and
do
work
yours.
off
This
of
is
that.
just
So objective, not influenced
Competition
by
of
personal
gaslighting,
feelings
man.
or
This is
opinions
crazy.
in considering and representing facts.
Thank you.
Yeah, but a fact would have to be material.
Not all facts are material, Andrew.
Ones.
I mean, air exists, and
Is air
currently,
material?
Actually, yeah, air is material. Okay, yeah, air is material. I'll give you that one. Oh God. Oh God.
Okay, so we have inherent rights that aren't material, but they're objective.
Andrew, there are immaterial facts. Do you genuinely not believe that?
What?
I mean, thoughts. Like humans
aren't-
have thoughts.
where do-
Thoughts are not material,
Where
but
do
they are a
where
fact.
do thoughts come from something material?
But a thought is not material.
How do you know?
Believe that a thought is material?
How do you know?
When you have thoughts, does steam rise out of your fucking head?
How do you
No.
how do you know a thought's not material?
How do you know thoughts are?
Well, the thing is
What
like
thought that you've had is material?
you would
Andrew?
ground a thought in a brain, right?
Yeah, but a brain and a thought are two different
Yeah,
things.
so you would agree with me that if there was no more brains, there would be no more thoughts.
Well, your brain creates thoughts,
So without
but a thought is immaterial.
So without-
Are you really trying to argue that there is a material thought?
what I'm telling you
Then
is
what the fuck are you talking
I'm
about?
going to tell you so that you understand. Do you agree with me that if we have no more brains, we have no more thoughts?
Sure.
Okay, great. Then what that means is that you're appealing to something material for thought, okay?
But a thought is still immaterial.
Okay, well,
It doesn't
well,
negate
hang
that.
on. The trick here is to understand that when I say objective, right?
Sure.
It means it doesn't depend on a mind. When I say subjective, it means it does depend.
Okay.
Hang on. I want to be very clear.
Sure.
It
Interesting.
means that it does. So when I say where do rights come from, you say
So
rights.
objective meaning if objective meaning it could be absence from the mind. That's what it is, right? Absent from the mind. But then if you want to get physical, if you take a brain out of somebody, how in the hell they can even determine what's objective, what's subjective, right? I don't know. That's a
Objective,
weird
that means they
argument.
exist somewhere outside of minds. So can you tell me where?
No, I'm not saying that objectivity needs to exist physically. I think that things can be objective without existing physically. But why don't you give an opinion on your actual belief?
Because right now I'm just trying to figure out.
Because
what the-
that's what you want to do. You want to just debate and circular logic and circular argument. This is what you want to do. You want to do the Jubilee argument. You want to do the Jubilee, grandiose kind of type of a debate where you go back and forward, and whoever wins is basically the person that looks better for the camera. That's child play. We want to play in the worldview. We want to just go worldview against worldview. This is what you want to do. You want to just go an opinion, because opinions, it's just an opinion. It's just something completely subjective. You want to go there, but Andrew's not that guy. Andrew wants to just know what's your worldview, and he will challenge you to challenge his own worldview. But I don't think she understands that. I don't think she had even the skill to understand that.
terms are for rights themselves, so we don't equivocate.
Do you not know what rights are?
I don't
The
know what you
opposite of
think they
left.
are. What are
Like,
they?
I just told you what
Well, you
rights
just told me
are.
that they're objective, but then you don't give me any grounding for
Certain
them.
rights are objective.
Okay,
yes.
where did- then-
They are objective and grounded in human morality, which can be based on a God, as you do, or which can be based on our conception of natural law.
Does human morality require a mind?
Sure, Andrew.
Well, then it can't be objective.
Yes, it can, because objective things can be immaterial. You don't know what objective means.
You don't know what objective
You're
means.
using one definition you found. Can you repeat the definition that you...
There is a sub-definition too, not dependent on the mind for existence.
There we go. God, there we go.
I'll repeat hers.
There we
now.
go.
Will you
That's
stop?
it.
Of a
Deep
person.
throating the mic. Andrew, stop doing this to your face.
You're coping so bad. You're so dumb. Yeah,
repeat
you know, I can't believe you did this so bad. Go ahead.
Of a person or
Oh my
their
God.
judgment, not influenced by personal feelings or opinions in considering and representing facts. Also, Andrew, did you want me to look up something or?
I just want to know if rights are objective and they don't depend on minds, Can you please tell me where I could find them?
Andrew, how could you there are things that exist that are not physical.
I'm not talking about
understand
whatever
that?
you think exists. It's not physical.
There
I
is
just
no
want to know.
limited number
I
of
just want to know
rights.
about rights right now. Just
It's
rights.
immaterial. Do you understand that? It's a concept. Do you know what a concept is?
Do concepts
Oh,
require
God.
minds?
Sure, Andrew. Then rights exist in your mind.
Then where's it? So then they're not objective.
But something can exist in your mind and still
But
be
are we
objective.
talking about
So
something,
do
or are
you
we
not
talking
think
about
that-
rights?
So do you not think that people have an objective right to life?
Listen,
Like, what are you arguing?
right now,
Andrew?
I'm
You're
just trying to
arguing
get
on
to.
One at a
Hold
time,
on,
please.
can I
One at a
just-
time.
Go ahead.
You're
Go ahead,
arguing
and then
on
Andrew,
a
you respond.
definition because you don't want to actually have to defend your opinion.
Why would I ever, in a million years, be required to defend rights if you can't even fucking tell me what they are?
I just did
Yeah,
8
but
times.
but I just pointed out all the incoherency with what you just said. It's
No, you
totally
didn't.
incoherent. It's completely incoherent.
Rights are the immaterial concept that humans deserve certain, I wouldn't say benefits, but I guess actually, what is a good word for that? Not benefits.
Entitlements.
Privileges.
Yes, I'll take entitlements. I like that one.
Got it. And they're subjective. They're not objective.
So do you not believe that anyone has any?
That's not the conversation. It's not conversation. I think she probably read this from ChatGPT and told ChatGPT, give me the best argument you can give me in favor of rights against objectivity or whatever. Like, rights are just simply an entitlement that are just provided by society. That's it. That's it. And they're a social construct. And not only they're a social construct, but they're not real unless we can give them by force. It's not real, man. That's why sometimes the Constitution, right? The Constitution of the United States, which has a bunch of rights, it doesn't work when you clearly have a case, for example, self-defense. You still have to go to a lot of courts. You still have to defend yourself. And especially in blue states, Washington State, even New York State, where clearly your case was in New Jersey. New Jersey is bad. Where you are in the case of self-defense, the Constitution is not kicking in because the force is just indicating the opposite. So whatever is written in the Constitution, it's not going to defend you because it's a right based on the social construct. We are the one that determines what is correct or not. And this is the slippery slope because we base these rights that we currently have in ecclesiastic worldview, meaning Christian worldview. So at this point, if we don't really solidify that worldview, something else is going to come in and just, get their own understanding what that right is. Let me know if you guys understand that.
I want you to define a belief. Make a statement.
That's
Andrew.
great. Right now, we're just trying to figure out what rights are. Are they subjective or not?
I think that certain rights are not subjective.
Okay, can you demonstrate the rights that are not subjective?
I think that rights can be infringed upon, but I
Can you
think
tell me
that
the
is
rights that
immoral.
aren't subjective?
I think that the right to life is not subjective.
Okay, so it's
I've just said it like
so
8 times.
So the right, this right which exists for life, that doesn't require human minds?
Well, everything requires human minds.
Then it
Andrew.
can't be objective.
Then everything is subjective.
Wait a second. You're so right. So from your view, everything that's a right would be subjective?
I think that everything that exists would be subjective at that point.
Okay.
Anything that comes from our minds and doesn't exist in the natural world would be subjective.
Okay, so then rights are subjective, meaning it's just concepts that we make up.
I don't think that rights are concepts that we make up. I'm sorry. I just don't. I mean, maybe you don't believe humans have rights, but I do.
Okay, then we'll flesh it out again.
So do you think that
if
humans
it's the
have...
case that rights...
Oh, God, Andrew. Do you
Well,
think
this
that
is
humans have
listen,
rights?
do you understand that what you're saying here is so fucking incoherent? It's so incoherent,
Why
I
do you
can't even have the conversation.
Andrew, do you have your own definition of rights? Why don't you give a definition
Well,
of right then?
first, you can't say to me, I'm giving you some incoherent gobbledygook.
It's not incoherent.
I'm going
Yeah,
to
thank
show
you
you
so much
I'm
for the
gonna
like,
demonstrate
guys. I
how it
really
is.
appreciate that.
So we start with this. Objective versus subjective. You agree with me that objective, right, means does not require mind. Hang on. Does not require minds. Subjective means does require minds. You continue, and then you got done telling me hey, man, everything is subjective and these concepts are subjective by that metric. Okay, great. But you still believe that there's rights which are objective, like the right to life, but then can't tell me how it's objective.
I think that the right to life...
Hang on, which means
Okay.
that we're now in either a performative contradiction, or you're just giving me incoherent babble.
All right, Andrew. I believe that the right to life is objectively moral. How about that? Does that make more sense to you? And since you want me to define rights so bad, let me just take the Merriam-Webster definition so we can move on and actually have a conversation about opinions. Rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom and entitlement.
Okay.
Will you take that?
Are those subjective or objective, though?
The definition of rights is our agreed upon definition.
No. What's in the definition of rights, is that objective or subjective?
Well, they come from the mind. So based on your description, I would say subjective.
Okay,
now,
hang on.
No. I'm
wanna-
not done speaking, Andrew. You've had a long turn
Go
to
ahead.
speak, and I would like to ask you a question.
You can ask whatever.
Do you believe that there are any inherent legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom or entitlement that all humans deserve?
Not objectively. Now,
You don't think that there's anything that all humans deserve
Not
on a
objectively.
moral basis? Do you think it would be immoral?
Not objectively.
So you think it's completely moral?
Not objectively.
To infringe on anyone's rights?
No, I'm just saying that objectively.
No, but I'm not asking about whether or not it's objective or subjective. I'm asking about your
But
opinion,
you
Andrew.
don't understand that
Do
you
you
are-
believe that there are any rights that everyone has that are morally unacceptable to infringe upon?
Not objectively.
I don't care about objectivity. I care about your fucking opinion. Give me an opinion. We're in the subjective. Do you have a single opinion? Give me an opinion. Come up with an opinion.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that we can...
You're
we can-
dancing around it.
No,
You're
I'm just
obfuscating. Yes, you
I'm
are,
making
because
sure
you
we're
don't
not-
want to have
I'm
to give
literally
an
making
opinion
sure we don't
that
obfuscate.
I can argue against.
I'm literally making sure we don't obfuscate.
You
right
asked me
now,
to define rights. I did. I accepted that it's subjective.
but the thing is...
Now, what is your opinion on it?
But I just want to clarify to make sure that we get this right. So you don't believe that there are any objective rights, right?
I believe that the right to life is an objective right, but we can disagree on it if you
Then
want
we're
to.
back to incoherent world
No,
again.
we're not, Andrew.
Yes,
you
we
just
are.
don't. Andrew, will you answer the question? I've answered
I
a lot of
can't.
questions.
I don't even know what you
Yes,
mean by
you
rights.
can, Andrew. I just defined rights.
No, listen.
Are you not listening to
You
me?
can't
He's
give me...
not listening to me. Did you not
Oh,
understand?
she's a big manipulator, man. She's a big manipulator, man. Are you not listening to me? Andrew, are you not listening to me? No? She's a professional gaslighter, man. The reason she wants to just go with the opinion, she wants to do the Jubilee type of debates. You give your opinion, I give my opinion. Yeah, they just go back and forward, where they just go to these long circular arguments that don't go anywhere. I mean, she's trying all her tactics to make sure Andrew can cave. It's not gonna work, guys. It's not
Is that
gonna
what I
work.
said? Do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, repeat it.
Okay. So rights are legal, social, or ethical principles of freedom.
Yeah, see, this sounds like a ChatGPT answer. I don't know about you, chat. Let me know what you guys think. But that sounds like a ChatGPT answer.
Or entitlement. Do you understand what that means?
That sounds like
And
an answer
are
from
those subjective?
ChatGPT.
Oh my God, what is up with you and subjectivity versus
The reason
objectivity?
I'm just trying to get a coherent
Okay,
definition.
so let's say that they are subjective for the sake of moving this conversation along.
Okay, so
all
is-
rights are subjective. What rights?
So is the right to life subjective?
I'm not asking whether or not it's subjective.
I'm asking so I can get a fucking coherent answer.
I'm not asking whether or not it's subjective. I'm asking whether or not you think humans
I'm asking
deserve
you.
it and have it.
Listen, right now.
Do you think that humans deserve a right to life?
Calm down. All we're doing right now
Calm
is I'm
down.
just trying to make sure that you and I have a definition of rights.
Andrew, it's taking me like an hour to understand this definition. Can we move on?
Yeah, because you don't
Give an
understand how bad you
opinion.
don't understand how bad this is.
You're
It's
so afraid to make an
incoherent.
opinion. What's wrong with you, man? Just say something. You do this all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it until we get to some kind of coherent,
Okay.
some kind of coherent, non-contradictory definition of rights.
You are
yes.
so afraid to just give an opinion on what
I'm not
rights
going
humans
to.
deserve.
I'm not
You
going
are
to grant
scared,
fallacious
Andrew.
arguments. I'm not going to
It's
grant
not a
fallacious
argument.
definitions. I'm not going to do
I
it.
agreed with you that rights are subjective. Now,
Okay, so then the right to life is subjective.
do you believe we deserve
Just
it?
answer the question. Is the right to life subjective?
Sure. Do you believe we deserve
Oh
it?
my God! Thank God. So all rights are subjective. Got it.
Okay, so now that we've agreed that all rights are subjective, do you believe that there are any rights that all humans inherently deserve?
Not objectively.
But morality, based on your personal morality. I'm not asking you about objectivity or subjectivity. I'm asking you about your personal morality.
Sure.
Do you think that there are any
Yeah, you're right, baby.
rights
She's a
that
professional
all
gaslighter.
humans deserve.
No, they're all subjective.
But just because something is subjective doesn't mean that's not a moral opinion. I'm asking for
It is a
your
moral
opinion.
opinion.
No, I'm asking for your opinion
That's
based
when-
on your ethical and moral framework.
So for me,
Yes.
I would say that you have God-given rights.
Sure.
Right? But I think you can't ground rights. So I don't know how you get to have a conversation with me about rights when you just think rights are opinions.
So you're grounding rights exclusively in the authority of God.
I
and
don't think they
nothing
can
else.
be grounded outside of that because they're just, you're saying that they're just a sequence of preferences.
But we can't talk to God.
You're just saying they're a series of preferences. That's
I'm not
all a
saying
right
it's a
is.
series- No. Do you want me to define it a fourth time?
If it's
Andrew?
subjective, what could it be other than a
A
preference?
legal, social, or ethical principle of freedom or entitlement. Do you think that subjectively and morally there is anything that humans are entitled to?
Subjectively, no.
Okay, morally. Do you think that there is
Yes.
any right? What do you, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Morally, what do you believe are the rights that humans are entitled to?
I think that well, if you're going to ground rights and ground them in God, then I would say that like the 10 Commandments would give us some certain rights that would
Correct.
be necessary, like necessary entailments.
Okay.
So,
So
that
morally,
I
so
would
the Ten
ground
Commandments
those.
are all of. Can you actually pull up the Ten Commandments for me? So the Ten Commandments are all of essentially all the human rights that we.
No, I'm just saying that those are an example of what we can ground in God.
Okay,
There's
so
other
then
ones
what
too. There's additional.
Do you believe are inherent human rights?
I just gave you a list. You haven't given me any.
That's it. Just the Ten Commandments.
Well, I would say that those can be grounded as an example of what can be grounded as a moral objective
But
right.
God is subjective, so why are you grounding
What?
it in the subjective again?
If God is subjective,
God
God is subjective. Okay. Now I guess. Ooh, she had to explain more on that because I don't know what she's saying with that.
Subjective.
then all rights are subjective. Then how would I be on a lesser playing field than you, even if those rights were subjective, if I believed in them and you believed in subjective rights also?
So what you're saying is you need to ground your rights in something objective, and the objective thing that you chose to ground them in is God, which isn't objective.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm very confused here. Help me out. If my preferences align with God's preferences, okay? If I'm like, let's just say that I'm a subjective anti-realist or a Christian anti-realist. So I believe that there are rights, right? They align with God's preferences and my preferences align with God's preferences.
Sure, great.
Okay, great. How would that give you any higher standing, considering that all rights are grounded subjectively from your perspective,
Yes.
which would mean they're all just preferences?
But God is also subjective, Andrew.
Why would that matter?
Because
would
you're
that-
saying
how would
that
that matter?
all of my rights are only grounded in subjectivity, but here my rights are also only grounded in subjectivity.
Exactly. Actually, that's my point.
Okay.
So if that's the case, then we have established that you have no moral high ground for making any prescription on rights because you're just saying they're preferences.
We do have a moral high ground, though. Rights are not preferences. We've already defined rights.
How are they not preferences then?
Rights are not preferences.
Okay, then what
Andrew.
are they?
You think the right to life is like the preference to be alive?
What else could it be if it's subjective?
What do you mean, what else could it be?
If
it's
subjectivity
subjective?
requires a mind, then what else could a right be other than your preference for a thing? What else could it be?
It's a principle, no?
And it's your preference to follow that principle?
Well, it's guided by our human morality.
And that's your preference to follow those morals?
Sure.
So then it's all just guided by
Yeah,
preference.
there you go.
Okay, but how do you define whether something's moral or immoral?
We would just use preferences.
That doesn't work. But what if every...
That's the only way you're doing it right
Okay,
now.
Andrew, but what if everyone
But
on
I think that's what she did. Jihadi Port, thank you so much for tuning in. But I think that's what she did. She actually put makeup. This is all you get. This is all you get. She already had her. This is her hair. This is what she did with her hair. This is her in 100%. This is her. You're not getting anything better than this. She did her hair. She put some lipstick. She put some makeup. That's it.
Earth decided we prefer if we have one group of people that we enslave. Would you then say that slavery is moral?
Exactly.
So
Doesn't
you
get better
believe
than
that
this, man.
slavery is
That's it.
moral.
Well, it wouldn't be a belief of
So you're
slavery
morally
being moral.
justifying slavery.
No. It's the
So
opposite.
you think that slavery is moral?
Do you think that repeating the question as though that's going to help you with this?
Well, you just did that.
No, I'm
That's exactly
I'm
what you just
expressing
said.
to you.
I'm repeating what
Yeah.
you said back to you to make sure you realize how ridiculous
that's
it is.
I'm
what
going
it
to
is.
show you how it's
Oh.
not. You ready?
Oh, sure.
Tell me how slavery is immoral except or absent preference. Go
It's
ahead.
causing human suffering.
And it's your preference that we don't cause that?
So you don't think it's immoral to
Is
cause
it your
human
preference we don't cause human suffering? I
Sure,
asked
it's
you.
my personal preference.
So I'm asking you, how do we ground a right that humans shouldn't be slaves absent collective human preference, including yours? How?
Well, I think it's inherent. I think that there are certain rights that everyone has. Andrew, what
It's
the fuck are you talking
inherent?
about? Yes, I believe that there are inherent human rights that violate the basic principles of morality. Andrew, please stop laughing. Oh, God.
Oh my God, this is so funny. You can
so
cringe all you want. You're the cringiest part. I can't believe you just said that. You just said all rights are subjective, right? They're only grounded in preference, but they're also inherent.
No, I believe that there are.
Yeah, I think Miro, I think you're correct. He's taking her position and she's changing him. The reason he's doing that is just to see whether or not she's here with good intentions, but she's not. Again, she's used to these back and forward Jubilee debates. I don't even think she's. When it comes down to philosophical debates, which are the ones that really matter, she's not ready for this. She's ready for little TikToks videos and all this stuff. She's not ready for this.
Inherent human rights.
Okay.
I believe our society would not function if we didn't have inherent human rights.
Okay, what is inherent?
We literally would not. Like, if it was immoral not to kill each other, what if we all decided to just maim each other? How would we survive as a species?
So it's our preference.
It's for the proliferation of our species. There is a direct benefit.
That would
to
all
it.
be preference.
So you want us to go extinct? What the fuck are you talking about? You prefer that the human species?
I'm
is
telling
extinct?
you that everything that you're talking about right now is just a set of human preferences.
Okay.
So, if that's the case, can you ground why it would be that slavery would be immoral outside of human preference?
Well, you're causing suffering.
Yes, but that's just a preference again. It's just a preference not to cause suffering.
So do you believe that there's any definition of morality? Like, can you actually, do you want to just look up the definition of morality? Sure. Since we can't agree on a single definition. I mean, Andrew, are you defending slavery? What the fuck are you talking about right now, dude? It sounds like you're defending slavery. For what purpose? I really don't understand.
I know, you don't understand.
Yeah, because why on earth would anyone defend slavery?
Nobody did.
You did, just now.
Never happened.
Why are you acting like we weren't just in the...
Ding. You have poor farmer. You got it right. Her strategy is to disagree at all costs. So my viewers think I won. There you go. That's a strategy right there. How can I gaslight Andrew? How can I do that? How can I, she just wants to be here in this debate to gaslight Andrew, to waste a lot of time, drag a lot of that time. In that way, she will look good and she can clip farm and just put it in her own account. Say, see, Andrew doesn't know what he's doing. But this time around, Andrew's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to really hammer her for good.
Middle of a conversation in which you were defending slavery.
That never happened. You just made it up.
Are you trying to gaslight me? Because it's
Not
not
only
gonna
not
work.
trying to gaslight
Objection,
you, but
right
the
there.
opposite is happening.
Yeah,
I'm
there you go,
defending
yeah.
slavery.
Can you tell me how I defended slavery?
You just said that if everyone wanted to, like, rights are based on subjective human preferences.
No, what I asked
so if
you-
everyone preferred slavery, it would be moral.
Yeah.
You just said that
And
morality is justified by human preference.
I'll tell you what, and if you can ground how morality is not grounded by anything other than preference, I can't wait to hear it.
To end the proliferation of human suffering and progress as a society.
That's a
and
preference.
maintain
Those
our
are preferences.
Well, then everything's a fucking preference,
Right.
Andrew.
So if it's just preference, right, you're just saying that collectively people have a preference to not make other people slaves, and that's what morality is it's a shared set of preferences, then if I say enslavement is just a shared set of preferences, how can you claim that's immoral?
So you don't believe that there's anything that's morally good or morally bad inherently? No matter what, if everyone wanted to do
No,
it, it's still
Naima,
morally bad.
I'm
Like, if
demonstrating-
every single person wanted to just, like, kill the shit out of a baby, if
I'm
every single
demonstrating
person
to
had
you that that's an
preference,
entailment
it's
of what
still
you-
immoral. There is an inherent definition of morality.
What is
Why is your sense of morality preference-based?
Because if you don't ground your preferences or something like this in something which is an unchanging standard for morality, in other words, it's changing just based on preference, right? You would need to give me some way to ground this where it's unchanging that would demonstrate for me that slavery is inherently immoral in some facet other than collective preference.
But even when we existed in a society that collectively endorsed slavery, it was still immoral. Do you not believe that? Like, do you not believe? Are you seriously justifying slavery?
I'm asking
right
you
now?
what made it immoral.
The concepts of good and bad. Do you not?
All right, you have pork farmer with a super $10 super chat. I love her, guys. I think I can fix her. Nah, man, you simping, man. No, you had pork farmer. Don't simp, man. Don't go to the dark side. Don't go to the dark side. You can't fix her, man. You cannot fix her. She gone, man. She gone. She cannot be fixed. It's a lot of trauma. Too much trauma. Think about the traumas, man. It's too many traumas. You don't want to be contaminated by that trauma. No. You can't, man. You touch that, man, you're gonna be contaminated. So
Believe that there is any inherent definition of good and bad. Is it just based on personal preference?
I think that from your view it would be, yes.
No, I think that from your view it
Then
would be.
ground it outside of preference. Go ahead.
Fine. Will you pull up
Thank
the
you so much for the
definition
super
of
chat,
freaking
man.
morality? Since we're only going to argue on descriptors today because Andrew's afraid to give an opinion.
We can't get past the descriptors because you won't give me anything coherent.
Andrew, why don't you agree that there is a very basic, there is an inherent goodness and badness?
she's just bad faith, man. Remember, she's not here to really debate Andrew. If she really debate Andrew, she's not gonna hold for that long. She's trying to stretch the time that way she can look good for her normies or whatever. But I don't even think she understand what is Andrew's trying to do. She's not that smart, in my opinion.
Do you not believe that on a base level? There are
You
some things that
can't
are
justify
nuanced.
that from your view. And if you can't justify it from your view, I don't need to accept the definition of good or bad. So justify it first.
All right. I believe that if something is good when it perpetuates. I believe something is bad when it perpetuates and proliferates human suffering.
That's a preference.
So, Andrew, do you just not believe in the concept of morality?
Don't you understand when you're having a debate, when you're actually having a debate and you're asking a person to give a definition of the thing, the actual thing in question here. And I ask you, what is morality if we're having a moral-based argument? In this case, we are because we're talking about rights.
Sure.
And I say, okay, tell me what rights are. And you incoherently babble about how they're both objective and subjective. They're inherent and they're not inherent. They're social constructs and they're not social constructs. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. It's just babble.
Andrew, I literally defined rights 8 times. Here, I'll define them one more time. Rights are a legal, social, or ethical principle of freedom or entitlement.
And are those preferences?
Yeah, but the thing is exactly where are these things? Where is that definition coming from? Where can you hold that definition absent of their mind? Absent from the mind, how can you hold those definitions?
A principle?
Following a principle.
It could be someone's preference. It could not be.
Well, yeah, right.
So what does it matter if it's a preference? Why are you stuck on the concept
because
of
if it's
preferences,
the case, because I'm looking for the case of equivalency. If it's the case that you think that you have morals which are better than mine or gooder than mine,
I don't think they're better than
hang
yours
on,
because you haven't shared yours.
or gooder than mine or great or whatever, or gooder than anybody's. Or gooder than anything,
You know
or
gooder's
good,
not a
or the
word.
goodiest of all things.
Okay.
Then you would need to demonstrate for me that rights.
Oh yeah, she sound like a oh yeah, she sound like a college educated. Yeah, no job. Mary, you say honestly, I think it's both. At least 3 times she failed a hypothetical test, according to my count through the debate. Yeah, she's gonna do it, and I need to just. In the future, there's something that I've been thinking about. Just go like extravaganza, like the Crucible. Just go to a lot of these TikTok kind of TikTok rooms. I don't know how they call it, and just go and debate and see what happens. Because a lot of these ideas, Andrew can do a lot, right? But we can do more collectively to go against these ideas. And I think Andrew is just it's tiring, man. Because I don't think she, like you said, Myra, or she's stupid, or she genuinely being bad faith.
Are more than simply preferences of people to invent social constructs that they think might be beneficial to themselves. If that is the case, then if I have preferences against that and they're shared collectively with other people, you would have to demonstrate why those preferences are inferior to your own, because they're both preferences.
So, Andrew, how do you define morality? How do you define morality? If you don't want to keep dealing with my stupid opinions on the basic definitions of words that we both understand. How do
We
you
don't
define?
both understand them.
Okay, then give me your definition. How do you?
Why does
define
my
morality?
definition help your definition?
Because you refuse to agree to my definition.
I'm not
So,
going to until you give me a
Andrew,
coherent
you
one.
don't want to give an opinion. You are so afraid of sharing.
We're
an
going to
opinion.
start first with something that's
How do
coherent.
you define morality?
What's going on? Uh-oh. What's going on here? Come on, computer. Don't be stupid. Come on, don't be stupid. What's going on? I'm sorry, guys. This computer, I don't know what happened. Like, and it's just stopped. Hold up, hold up. Hold up. I'm not touching anything because I don't want the computer to be acting stupid. You see what I'm saying? What's going on here? Damn, what happened here, man? All of a sudden, Microsoft Edge really started, acting up a little bit. I don't know why. There we go. Hold tight, yo. Hold tight.
Like, how do you define morality?
There you go.
If you don't want to keep dealing with my stupid opinions on the basic definitions of words that we both understand, how do
We
you
don't
define?
both understand them.
Okay, then give me your definition. How do you?
Why does
define
my
morality?
definition help your definition?
Because you refuse to agree to my definition.
I'm not
So,
going to until you give me a
Andrew,
coherent
you
one.
don't want to give an opinion. You are so afraid of sharing.
We're
an
going to
opinion.
start first with something that's
How do you
coherent.
define morality?
It doesn't matter. You have to give me a
I'm not
coherent
gonna-
definition of
I'm
rights.
not going to give you a definition.
Then we
of
can't
rights
go anywhere
until
with
you define-
rights unless you tell me what they
I
are.
already gave you a definition of
It's an
rights.
incoherent definition.
Andrew, it's the definition that is generally agreed upon by Merriam-Webster and Oxford Dictionary. That is the definition of rights. It is literally the definition of rights.
And
It's
are they
literally-
preferences?
Who gives a fuck?
I
What
give
is
a fuck.
morality? What is morality?
Preferences.
You think that morality is solely based on personal preference?
Yes.
So something is morally good if you want to do it.
Yes.
That's what you believe.
Yes. What
Okay.
else could it be?
So if you wanted to punch Brian in the face, you really, really wanted to just punch Brian in the face.
Yeah.
Sorry to use you on this spot.
Yep.
But if you really wanted to, you believe that that would be a morally justified act.
For me, yes.
Okay. So if someone really
But it wouldn't
wanted
be for
to,
him because he has a different set of preferences, you see.
Okay. So you define moral. So then what happens in that? How do we decide if it's moral or immoral?
Through collectivization.
So so your definition of morality is based solely on the collective will. That's it.
Well, not solely based on the collective will.
Okay, so then what else is it based on?
Collective preferences.
Collective preferences. So if collectively we all decided that we wanted to commit a genocide against, I don't know, let's say Germany, the entire country of Germany, kill all the millions of people that were there, every single person in America agreed to do that,
Yeah.
you believe that that would be morally justified?
Well, if it was the...
So let's say there were
Yeah,
more
yeah.
people in
Go
America
ahead.
than there are in Germany. So their preference is to not get genocided,
Yeah.
but there's less of them, right?
Yeah.
And our preference is to genocide Germany, and there's
Yeah.
more of us.
Yeah.
So collectively that preference is larger.
Yeah.
You would morally justify that action.
I think that if it was preference-based morality, it would be justified, right?
So you believe in preference-based morality.
Yeah.
So you're going to justify slavery, genocide, all of those things. So
Right.
you've just morally justified
Yeah.
all
And-
of these horrific
and
actions.
I'm going to tell you the
across
greatest.
time.
I'm going to tell you the greatest thing in the world, and you
Uh-oh.
just completely defeated your own argument. That is what your morality is.
No, that's what your morality
Then
is.
if you
We're
then-
basing it off of your
then
definition.
ground it on
Andrew.
anything other than preference. If you disagree with me,
I don't believe them. I think that I think morality is about what is good and bad, and I think that there
what
are
is good and
inherent
bad other than
definitions.
preferences?
I'd say good and bad. I mean, why?
What are,
Dude, you're
what
the
is
motherfucker who
good?
just justified
what
slavery. I don't
is
know why you're
good-
dancing
What
around.
is good or bad other than preferences?
I would say something is good if it is beneficial to the world.
So
That's
preferences
a
again.
preference.
No,
When you say something's beneficial to the world,
mutually beneficial.
isn't that just things which align with people's preferences?
Yeah.
Yes, they happen to, but it's not based on the preference.
And she keeps moving the goalposts. And the thing is that again, generally, I don't think she understands what type of debate this is. I don't think so. And she's supposed to be the superstar Jubilee, whatever, But I don't think she really understands what's going on right now. She doesn't. Because to get to this point, you need to some kind of maturity, and not only maturity, humility and wisdom. To get to the point where you see Andrew and you can understand some of these things that, that he's saying, you need some experience, I will say. She's not there. Humility is what's going to get you there. Oh, you get me stupid.
The preference is based on it.
Well,
Do you understand that?
No.
We prefer things that are good to the world. But things that are good to the world are not good to the world just because we prefer them.
Okay, then what makes them good to the world?
What makes them good to the world is if it disincentivizes harm and human suffering or animal suffering.
That sounds very preference-based again to me.
It's not preference-based.
So then tell me how bad...
Someone could have a preference that they want the world to suffer and cause harm, but it doesn't mean that actions that disincentivize suffering are somehow now immoral.
You got to help me out here then.
Your definition of moral is too fluid, man.
So how inherently
too fluid, man. You know
can
what I'm
an
saying,
action
man?
be good or bad outside of a human mind and preference?
Well, because we can see the physical consequences of this
Not
actions.
outside of a human mind.
Yes, the fuck we can. If you punch Brian in the face, we could all see that. That would exist outside
You
of
mean
the
human minds
mind.
would see that? No shit. I didn't know.
Okay, but it still exists objectively in space and
It
time.
wouldn't, because it would require a mind and an observer.
What the fuck? What kind of if a tree falls ass argument is this?
It's not an if a tree
you
falls
punch
ass argument.
Brian in the face, it's objective. You objectively just did that. Like, what are you talking about, man?
What makes it immoral, other than your preference, your subjective preference?
No, what makes it immoral is that you perpetuated human suffering.
Yeah, but human suffering requires minds. You see what I'm saying? So, what I'm asking you is this.
Sure.
If an action is truly good or truly bad, how does that work that an action is good or bad on its own, absent a human's preference?
It's consequence. An action can be good or, there's multiple definitions, but an action can be good or bad based on intent and consequence.
Okay, I'll try this again. If thing good, how thing good outside preference?
Consequence. The consequence of the action.
And people have a preference for consequences. They don't want X consequence.
But you're using the preference as what is prescribing the morality.
It is what's prescribing the morality.
I don't think morality is inherently based on human preference.
Then what's it based on?
I think morality is based on whether or not it proliferates human suffering. Or really any kind of suffering.
But that's just grounded again in preference.
No, it's grounded in consequences.
And you prefer not to have those consequences?
The consequence of human suffering? Yeah.
Then that would be preference-based morality.
It's not preference-based morality
because
my preference doesn't influence its morality.
It's the only thing.
Even if I had the preference.
Okay, then what other than human preference would influence morality?
Consequence and intent. I just said it.
That's all you saying preference.
No, but the preference is based on the consequence.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So wait, let me get this right.
But the morality of an action is not based on my preference towards the consequence.
Okay. So imagine
the morality of an action is based on the objective consequence.
So imagine you have 20 people.
I might be slow. Is she using just big words here, man? If she's trying to just put two words together to just make it sound magnificent or something, I don't know what she said. I really don't know what she said, bro. I'm just listening. And I'm like, I might be dumb. I might be dumb because I didn't know I really don't know what she was trying to say, man.
People, and they all I don't know, they beat a kid to death, right?
Sure.
And there's just you. Mm-hmm. There's just you who sees this, and you're the 21st person, right? It's only 21 of you on planet Earth. You see these 20 kids, and they beat a kid to death.
Yes.
Okay? Did all of them do something wrong?
Yes.
Okay. If you didn't exist, what would make that action wrong?
It would make that action wrong because it proliferated human suffering. The consequence was the death of a child, which I believe is inherently morally wrong. You have denied that child the right to life. You have infringed upon its rights.
So when I asked
that is
you,
the consequence of the action, whether or not they agree with that.
So if you're not there, what makes it morally wrong? You said because I think it's morally wrong, but you're not there.
I said
you're
they
not
denied the
there.
child the right to life. That's what made it morally wrong, Andrew.
I see, and you have a preference against that, right?
I happen to.
Okay.
But
and
that's besides the point.
So can you ground how that's bad absent your preference?
They denied a child their right to life.
And you prefer that they didn't.
That's not the point.
It is the very point.
No, it's not.
Then tell me.
Even if I didn't exist and didn't have a preference, that would still be immoral.
Then you're
Causing
saying
human suffering and denying a child the right to life is immoral.
Then what that would mean.
Why are you advocating in favor of
What that
putting
would
a
mean
child to
is
death?
that morality.
Yeah, look at that.
That is
Gaslighting.
objectively true, even absent minds observing it. Right?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So it's objectively true that even without minds, if somebody got beaten to death, that would be immoral.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell me then how you ground that it's immoral other than restating the thing itself as being immoral?
I just told you. It's immoral because you denied a child the right to life.
Yeah, but that's just you repeating the claim. Do you understand? Like if I say murdering that guy's wrong, and you say why is it wrong, and I say because murdering people is wrong, that's not giving a justification.
You caused human suffering. That's why it's wrong.
Yeah, but why is causing human suffering immoral?
So you don't think causing
Now, I'm
human
asking you a question. Why is causing human?
You see how she does this, man? This is real gaslighting. Andrew's asking a question.
Human suffering immoral?
Why? What was the question again?
Justification.
You caused human suffering. That's why it's wrong.
Yeah, but why is causing human suffering immoral?
Why causing human suffering is immoral? And she said, like, oh, so you're saying that causing human suffering is not moral, whatever, right?
So you don't think causing
Now, I'm
human
asking
suffering-
you.
You see that? The reason she's doing that, she's trying to gaslight Andrew out of the conversation, trying to guilt trip. So you know what's crazy? Something that really works against men is just sign language. You can tell that she's used to this. She used to use sign language to just get her point across. Probably with a lot of betas and stuff like that. So you're saying that causing human suffering is immoral? Like, the gaslighting is not going to work. I don't know why she thinks that this is going to work against Andrew. She can try this with her little college friends that probably want to get laid. But not with a man like him. He's a man.
Question: why is
Let me know if
causing
you guys
human
agree with that
suffering immoral
statement.
absent preference? Why?
Or disagree?
Because it's causing human suffering is immoral
Because
because you are denying them their inherent rights given by God or by natural.
you don't believe
right.
in God.
How do you know that?
You said so.
No, I didn't. When did I say that?
So you do believe in God? So rights come
I'm
from
just
God?
not a Christian. And I don't believe that all of our inherent rights come from God. But I do believe
Well,
that
then
there's a lot
we're
of stuff
okay.
out
So
there.
all the rights that don't come from God.
My morality is not based on my belief in God, is what I'm saying.
Okay, got it. So then what would make the action immoral? You say because the action's immoral.
No.
Okay, well then what makes it immoral?
Perpetuating human suffering.
And what makes that immoral?
The consequence of the
And
actions
what
that
makes
makes
that
it
immoral other than your preference? What?
What makes it immoral is that you're killing the species. I mean,
Yeah, that's just restating it again.
it's the consequence.
So,
the
so- yeah,
consequence
so let me
of
show
the
you.
action makes it
Let me show you
immoral,
what
Andrew.
keeps happening. I say, why is killing that person wrong? And you say it's wrong because he's killing that person. And I say, what outside of that?
This is not a circular
I say, what
argument,
outside of your
Andrew.
preference
You
makes
just
that
refuse to
wrong? You
listen
say
to
because he's
me.
killing. Okay, we'll try it again. What makes it wrong to perpetuate human suffering absent your preference?
The consequence of human suffering.
And what makes that consequence wrong absent your preference?
Absent of my preference, it's the perpetuation of human suffering.
See how it's circular?
Yeah, I understand.
Do you understand now? It's
Well,
totally
I wasn't
circular.
done with my sentence,
Okay, go ahead.
Andrew. If you're going to interrupt me in the middle of my sentence and
Okay,
say,
go ahead.
aha!
Oh, you're right. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
wait, where was I? Go back to your question.
Yeah, so the question is, what makes an action immoral absent your preference?
I think an action is immoral if it infringes on the natural rights of an individual and perpetuates human suffering.
I understand that you believe that, and that's your
Yes.
preference. What makes it wrong absent your preference?
Well, definitely not God.
What?
What makes it wrong? But I believe that there, like, do you not believe
That's
that
your
there's an inherent
preference.
definition
That's
of-
your preference.
Sure, it's my preference.
So what makes
But
it
my
wrong? You keep
preference
saying
and
immoral-
an objective truth are like, just because my preference happens to
You-
agree with that.
Okay, so then tell me why it's wrong absent your preference.
Because I believe there's a objective definition of right and wrong.
That's your
and causing
preference
human
again.
suffering. Okay, Andrew, then why do you believe it's wrong?
Why does it? What does it have to do with the? What does me believing that fucking TV right there is off when it's on have to do with your definition of this?
Ooh, wait, that's a red herring. Hold on, for my bingo.
Oh my God, that's not a red herring.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
literally trying to stay on topic.
Wait, here, hold on. Where's Red?
Can you ground morality outside of your preference or not?
Boom.
Can you ground morality outside of your preference?
This is ridiculous, man. See, she's trying to do this for her little TikTok, whatever, shorts, I guess. This is crazy. She's being so childish.
Or not? You keep on saying it's wrong because it's wrong because it's wrong because it's wrong.
I've
Stupid
grounded
bingo.
morality and natural rights. I've already done this.
Now, what are natural
multiple
rights
times.
other than your preference?
What are natural rights other than my preference? Well, my preferences happen to align with our definition of natural rights.
So your natural rights are just your preference?
No.
Then what are they?
Natural rights are the right to life, the right to liberty, and honestly, the pursuit of happiness.
And what gives you
I think
those
that those are
rights
natural
other than
rights.
people's preferences?
It's not people's preferences that, well, it's not people's preferences that give you those rights. It's just that we are all naturally deserve them. Just being alive is what gives you those rights. I believe that all humans who are birthed into this world have a natural right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
That's
and
a preference.
Our constitutional founders would agree with me.
Do you realize that's a preference?
Sure, but what the fuck does that matter?
It matters because if you keep on claiming over and over again rights aren't preferences and everything you give me is just a preference for a right.
I didn't
Anytime
claim
I
that
ask you
rights aren't preferences.
if you have good, whatever you think good is, what is it outside of what you prefer?
Andrew,
Sorry
all you
about
want
that.
to do is have a descriptive
Just my
argument.
wife
I
just
want to
serving me a
actually
nice
hear
neat
your
apple.
Listen, the
opinion.
semantics are important to the
No,
debate.
dude.
Yes, dude.
Brian, what time is it?
4:50.
I'll sit
Okay.
here all
She
day and
thinks
do
it's-
this.
yeah.
I'm telling you right now, we're not moving past this until
No,
you
Andrew,
can
but what
give
is
me the
point
grounded
of this?
claim.
It's pointless.
It's the most pointed.
It's pointless. You
You're
wanna do
just
this
trying
all
to
day
evade.
because you are afraid of voicing
Then
your own
all you have to
opinion
do
and
is
having
tell
to
me how
defend
you
it.
ground rights outside of your preferences because you keep saying they're not your preferences.
You were the one who grounded rights and preferences, and that was your justification for fucking slavery.
You disagreed though.
Yes.
So tell me how you ground them outside of
Because I think that
preference.
they're inherent. It's natural law.
And what is natural law other than
Natural
a set
law,
of
what is
preferences?
it? What is natural law?
I mean, it's a concept that there are inherent rights that every human deserves. Based
Based on what? Based on what? Who determines this? Who determines these rights?
on the fact that they're alive.
Okay.
Which is
and
objective. We are alive objectively. Unless the whole thing is a simulation.
okay, so you're alive.
Sure.
You believe people have a right to be alive.
Yes.
That's a preference, right?
It happens to be my preference, yes. There are people who disagree with me.
Okay,
But-
and is that because of their preference?
Yes.
So then what are rights
So are
other
they,
than
wait, hold on. So question, are they morally justified to kill others? If their preference is to kill
under your
others.
worldview,
would that be-
yes. Because rights are
No,
just preferences.
You're the one who believes in a preferential worldview, Andrew.
So do
I
you.
Don't believe
No.
that.
You
I
don't-
believe in it.
I
There
think-
is an inherent definition of right and wrong, good and bad.
Okay, then give it to me. What makes a thing good other than a set of preferences?
I believe that something is good. I've already said this.
Do it
Andrew.
again.
We're going. No, actually, no. Don't
Oh.
fucking tell me what to do, man.
Okay.
Shall we
Yeah.
change the prompt?
I think.
Honestly,
get
'cause
into
I
we're
think
even
not. I
talking
think.
about
Listen,
anything.
I'm going to tell you this is.
No, because all you want to do is
Let me
have a
make the
descriptive
case.
debate because you are
Let me-
afraid of
let
voicing
me-
your opinion.
Let me
because
make
your
the
opinion
case.
doesn't make any.
Yeah,
freaking
let me
Correct,
make
guys.
the case. So the case
Hamster,
is this.
hamster on the wheel.
She wants to have a debate, and she claims it's good faith on force doctrine, which is a
Yeah, because it's egalitarianism. Yeah, you're right, Spliffy. It's just egalitarianism. This is all what it comes down to. And Miro, you said doesn't she support abortion? There we go. And I think at the beginning, like I said, she conceded that. She conceded that point already. If she believed that everybody deserved the right to live, by that same admission and logic, you had to be okay with being pro-life. You cannot be pro-choice or pro-deletion. You can't, because then you're being inconsistent.
descriptor about rights. When I ask her if rights are preferences, give her her own worldview back to her, right? When she says, so all of these genocides and everything else are completely justified because of preferences. I literally gave you your worldview back to you and said, yes, they have to be.
But
Because,
Andrew,
hang
I
on, let me
disagreed with you. I
finish.
don't believe that rights are.
Am I allowed to
preferences.
finish what I'm saying?
Let him finish. Go ahead, Andrew.
So anyway, the thing is like, if that's the case, I gave you your whole worldview back and showed you, based on your worldview, all of those things actually would be justified, yes, because I don't believe that you can ground this concept of good or evil outside of preference, and you haven't, and you want me to just move on. Hang on. And you want me to just move on from that, and I'm not going to until you either A, concede that your morality is all preferences, or B, justify how it's not.
I don't believe that morality is based in preference.
Well, then
believe
that's a
that
preference.
morality is based in inherent natural law, and we've already talked about that.
But inherent would say that it's, well, here's the thing. Inherent would say that that's objective, and you don't believe in objectivity. You believe only in subjective rights.
No, that's not true. We're talking about morality, not rights. You don't believe that there is an inherent basis of morality.
From
Do
your
you
view,
not
there's
believe-
not. No.
I'm not asking you about my view, Andrew. I'm asking you about your view.
It wouldn't matter what my view was if
No,
your
it does.
view
I'm really
is
genuinely
inherent.
curious.
That's nice,
Do you
but I
believe
want to
that there are
know.
inherent rights?
Look, we're not
Look
going
at
to.
you. You're
We're not.
dancing
I'm
around
not
it.
moving
You're
past
so
it
afraid to
until
give
we
an
get to
opinion.
good and bad. We're not doing
Do
it.
you believe that there is any inherent rule?
wouldn't
of
matter.
morality? Yes,
Hold
it
on, let
does.
each other
It doesn't.
finish.
It does
Let each
matter.
other finish.
Doesn't
well, Andrew,
matter.
you have to actually give an opinion. You can't just sit here and ask
If
me.
you don't understand.
we're not
You- I
doing
don't know.
that.
Why
You
don't
can't
you
just sit
understand?
here
We're not doing that opinion debate. Nobody cares about that. Those debates, Destiny used to say that. Yes, Destiny used to do that. Opinion-based debate. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. That was back in 2015. People giving their opinion back and forward. What did it cost? It cost us everything. It cost us people getting canceled, men becoming women, women becoming men. It just created a bunch of very unstable circumstances. We're not doing that anymore. We want the truth. We want the truth. That's what we want. We want the truth. Nothing but the truth. Thank you, God. Help me, God. Yeah, we're not doing that, man.
Give me the definitions and ask for the definitions of things over and over and over and over and over
You've
again
destroyed
when
the
you
ability for
refuse
morality
to have
itself.
An argument.
You've destroyed the ability for morality itself, so it wouldn't matter what I claimed
What do
is
you mean
moral
I've
or immoral.
destroyed the ability
Because-
for morality?
because
I've
what-
given
Why
you
don't
all
we-
these definitions.
Because what you're claiming
man.
is an anti-realist position. It's a moral anti-realist position. You're saying there's no true moral facts. Everything is just morality based on preferences.
That's the opposite of what I
but
just
then
said.
ground it.
I just said
Then
that
ground it.
There is inherent morality based on natural law. I
Then-
just said
then
that
ground
8
it.
times. So now what is your definition
Then
of morality?
ground it.
Do you believe there's inherent morality? Answer
What-
a question,
Why
Andrew.
would it matter?
Answer it, because I want to know.
Yeah, sure.
We're in the middle of
And
a
I
debate.
think they're all preferences.
Why am I the only one who is sharing?
I thi-
so you do
I-
think there? So the,
Yes.
the prescriptive morality is not my opinion; it's yours.
It's yours too.
No, it's not.
Then ground it.
I just did.
No, you didn't.
I've done it
Ground
over and
it.
over.
You haven't.
believe there's
You are
inherent morality.
afraid.
Answer
What?
to
I
actually
literally
give
just-
a fucking
Let
opinion.
each other finish, please. Let
How
each
did
other
what?
finish.
So
What did I
you
ground?
are
What did I
saying- so
ground
you-
morality in?
You just grounded it in prescriptive.
No, preference.
You just said that.
Preference.
Prescriptive is preference.
And what are you
Prescriptive
grounding
morality? Is the morality of
What are you
preference.
grounding morality in?
I'm grounding morality in the inherent belief that humans
Exactly,
deserve
Spliffy. Spliffy, you're so right. We want to hear debates about facts and reality. I don't want to hear people's opinion. For opinions, that's why I exist, right? I just want to hear my own opinion. But nah, we want to hear facts and reality. And sometimes those facts I'm not gonna like those facts, but they're facts for a reason. People don't like them.
natural rights,
So your preferences.
Usually, people don't like facts because it's destroy
but it's inherent.
a
It can't be
reality of
inherent
yourself.
if you're grounding it in your preference.
There is an inherent right. I do
Then
believe in
demonstrate
inherent
that they're
rights.
inherent.
Demonstrate that what's inherent morality.
Right? Yeah, morality.
I just did with the
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did with slavery. You want to go back to the slavery
Sure.
example? So if an entire society believes that this one society should be enslaved, and there's less of them,
Yeah.
under your definition of morality, enslaving this smaller group would be morally justified.
Based on preference.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm saying because morality is inherent, then even though all these people would like to enslave them, it is still not morally justified.
I see. So, tell me something. These inherent rights, where do they come from again?
Yeah, they can't handle the truth because I think you're right, Spliffy. I think there's something about the truth is that by you allowing the truth to come to your senses, that means that you are leaving something behind. Something behind. I remember when I got red pill, man, I was mad. I was pissed with myself. But at the same time, I was content with the fact that now I know the truth. But this is what happened. When you don't know the truth, you still look like a kid. You still like a Peter Pan. You're Peter Pan. And you think you're going against the system, but you are the system. You are the psyop, meaning to her. See, if you are a Peter Pan, you are the psyop. You are the status quo. That's what you are.
Inherent rights. I don't believe they come from God. I believe they come from natural law. But God is also an example.
Well,
of
so
rights
is
that
natural law
inherently
unchanging?
Yeah, to an extent.
No,
Natural law is unchanging?
Yeah.
Okay. And can you demonstrate an unchanging natural law?
In order for all humans have to be born and all humans die. That's a natural law.
No, a moral natural law.
But morality is based on natural law. The natural law is not what is moral or immoral.
So what? Wait, now I'm really confused. I thought you just said that natural law is what you're appealing to for what is or isn't moral.
Yes, natural law.
Okay, so can you give me an example of an unchanging natural law which is moral or immoral?
Okay, causing harm creates human suffering. That's a natural law. We know this to be fact.
That's a natural law.
Yeah.
Okay, can you demonstrate the natural law for me?
Okay.
Other than
If Andrew punched Brian in the face, Brian, you think that would hurt?
Yes.
Okay, so there it is. That's a natural law. If you caused harm to Brian, it would create human suffering in Brian. There it is.
What if Brian wanted me to punch him in the face because he thought it felt good?
Well, that's now consensual. So I guess non-consensual.
So then that's
harm
not an
there.
unchanging natural law.
Non-consensual harm. There. How's that?
Non-consensual harm.
Sure.
Okay. And when you say non-consensual harm, can a person consent to things which would harm them? And that would still be bad?
But it wouldn't cause human suffering because they want it.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. So when you say suffering, is suffering this idea? Is that subjective or objective? Do you believe that that's requiring minds or not?
Well, everything requires a mind. So I
Okay.
guess
So
that would be
then
subjective.
the ideas for what suffering is right now can change.
Well, I guess some suffering isn't subjective.
What? What suffering? What form of suffering or preference for suffering can't change over time?
Well, I guess, yeah, your personal, I guess suffering is subjective to each person. Yeah.
Yeah.
to an
So
extent.
then preferences for suffering can change over time. Because
Well, the definition of suffering doesn't change, but like an individual
Yeah.
can feel like something is causing them suffering when
natural
it
law is now rendered incoherent
It's not
because hang on,
incoherent.
because you said that it's unchanging, but you clearly think that it does change.
Well, suffering doesn't change.
Okay, so suffering
It
in
can
200
change between people, like it's
then it
nuanced.
changes.
But suffering itself, the concept of suffering is not changing, but what we each interpret as suffering on our bodies can change, yes.
Then it's not unchanging.
It is unchanging. It still exists.
Well, but I don't understand. How can it be an unchanging
Do you not
law?
understand what suffering is?
I don't understand how it can be an unchanging law if it
Well,
can
what do you
change.
think that suffering is, Andrew?
I don't know, like pain, things like that, I think.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So pain still exists, but someone's pain tolerance can maybe get better or worse
Yeah.
over time, right?
Yeah,
So
but-
the concept of suffering and pain is the same, but it can, it's subjective to each person. Do you understand that?
Yeah. So I'll show you kind of the line of logic here.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So if it's the case that you think that morality is an unchanging standard and you're pointing to natural law, right? You're saying natural law is unchanging. This is the standard for which I base morality on, and it's not preferential.
Yes.
Okay, it's not preferential. So natural law exists somewhere,
Yes.
absent minds.
Sure.
Okay, sure. Where?
Well, there's multiple natural laws.
Moral natural laws.
No, not moral natural laws, just subjective natural laws. But being born and dying exists absent of mind. Pain exists absent of mind.
How does pain exist?
No, that's
absent of
not
mind?
true.
Physical pain can exist.
That's not true unless your brain tells you. That was crazy to hear. No, pain cannot exist absent of mind because the brain is the one that sends the signal that there's a problem going on in your body.
Absent of mind.
How?
If someone cuts off your arm, it's going to fucking hurt, no? It's not just that you think
With the brain.
Those are both minds.
It's neurons.
Those are minds.
Well, it's not neurons, but it's...
Those are both minds.
So
What are you
don't-
talking about? So how does pain exist absent of mind?
So you don't think Pain exists absence of mind because it's your body. Your body is feeling things. You can feel things without your mind thinking about it.
What?
I mean, it's your central nervous system.
How do you feel something without a mind?
You never felt the
If you
sensation
had no
of touch?
brain, you would feel stuff?
We have multiple.
If you had no brain,
senses.
you would feel stuff.
Well, I've never not had a brain before.
Do you think people with no brain feel stuff?
I don't know. Why don't we ask one of them?
What do you think?
I don't know. I
Where
don't
do you
have
think?
a brain.
Where are your pain receptors located?
Aren't they all over your body?
You're fucking. If you have no brain, how could you possibly feel pain?
Because you feel pain in your body.
How without a brain to process it?
But who the fuck doesn't have a brain, Andrew? Like, who is this argument for?
You said that pain doesn't
okay,
require
fine.
minds.
So long as humans have a brain, then we can feel pain.
So minds.
Brain.
Well, what's a mind other than a brain to you?
Well, the mind is the conscious inside of your brain.
So it's the brain.
No, it's not.
Then if you don't-
Consciousness is not your brain.
So then if you don't have a brain, do you have consciousness?
No.
Okay, then it's the brain.
But you can have a brain without consciousness, right? Like chickens have brains, but they're still not conscious.
That's sentience.
No, it's a conscious.
Sentience.
Your conscious is what is thinking.
Correct, Sleepy.
Right?
Well,
your
no.
prefrontal cortex is your conscious.
No, because you would have.
Correct. If you don't have a brain, that means you're dead. The only way you can feel pain is because the brain's telling you there's pain.
Unconscious consciousness, which would mean like you could be half brain dead, but still like picture things in your mind. And
Yeah,
shit like
actually,
that.
that's a great example. Do people who are brain dead feel pain?
Shall we switch prompts?
This is the fucking
Let's switch.
Can I just
let's get
finish
into
with
new
one
prompt.
last thing?
Sure.
Can
Okay.
I also
just
give a
want to
closing
finish.
statement if we're gonna
I
do
just
that?
want to finish with one last thing. I just want to
Yes.
point this out to you so that you understand that this whole time, you have not been able to demonstrate moral facts absent preference. Everything that you give as a moral fact, like pain, suffering, things like that, are just things that you're claiming you have a preference against. They don't exist absent minds. They're subjective to the individual. So if that's the case, you're grounding all morality in preference. All of it. You're not like, what else could it possibly be? And then when I ask you, so if I say, hey, is murdering Brian wrong? You say yes. I say, why? Because of this principle. I say, well, isn't that adherence to the principle just your preference? Yes. So what makes killing him wrong? It's a massive circle.
Natural law. I literally just said that. I mean, honestly, Andrew, I think you're having a hard time listening
am.
because you're so focused on justifying slavery, despite your belief that.
Do you think
morality comes from God.
that's going to make a good clip for you? Because it's not going
Well,
to.
it's not a great clip for you, Andrew. I don't really need to clip you.
Come on, give me a break. You're going to try to clip
Unless you
out
want to
of-
open another jar of pickles.
Do you think that one's going to be a good one for you too? But anyway, go ahead. We can move on to the next topic. It's the most
I mean,
ridiculous
again, I
shit.
just want to finish this off.
I do too. Go ahead.
Well, yes.
Well, you
Great.
each get. You had
He
your
just
statement.
finished,
You
so
had your
now
final
may
statement,
I have my final
we'll
statement?
then
Yes,
we'll move
I
on.
mean, Andrew, I don't really agree with your basic definition of prescriptive morality. I think that prescriptive morality opens the door for the moral justification for so many aspects of human suffering, including slavery and genocide, which you just justified yourself. Now, whether or not we agree on what each natural law is, I think that natural law is what justifies and dictates what is moral and immoral. And I mean, if you don't agree with that, then I guess you can just head over to North Korea. All right, I'm done.
Okay, so the next prompt, there's quite a few, but why don't we
Can I have a smoke first?
Yeah, I'll do a smoke.
You guys want to take a
Yeah, I
break?
wanna have
Yeah, because it's been like
Okay.
an hour now.
All right, we go for it. Go for it. As soon as you can go at the same time if you'd like.
I'm good.
Okay, all right, got it. So we'll go over just a couple things here. The next
Not just a break
prompt.
for a cigarette. It's also a break from Andrew.
That's fine. You did a logical fallacy bingo.
What is she trying to do here? I guess, what do you want? I don't know what you want. You want a cookie for this? Like, I don't understand the childish approach to this. I don't know what's funny. This is not funny. You're looking like a retard. I don't understand.
I wouldn't touch your eye to the microphone. I don't know. Your forehead's good. Forehead's fine. I wouldn't just. Yeah, I'm looking out for Andrew. I don't need this guy having pink eye at debate con. Speaking of which, Andrew, you want to let the people know you got debate con? All right, little break. We are going to resume the debate momentarily. in just a moment. So she's returning to the table right now. We're going to get right back into it. So what we'd like to do is just move in. Actually, hold on. We have to let some of the chats come through. So we'll do that right now.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Hello? Oh, I see what happened. One moment. Let me redo that.
Oh, yeah, because
I apologize. Welcome back, guys. We're doing the Q&A session right now. It's a $199 and up. That's streamlabs.com/whatever if you want to get them in now. All right, hold on one moment while we let these come through. Thank you, Pasty George. Appreciate it. I'll pull that back up here in just a moment.
Your XD donated $200. If this is what the left considers an all-star, the bend is running real low here. I can't figure out if none of them understand internal critique, or if this is a strategy to avoid it as a defeater.
Sure. Is that a question?
Just a statement. We'll
A message from the Government of Canada.
let them all come through.
Pasty George donated $200.04.
Thank you, Pasty George.
To Brown Locks, if everything has human rights, as you have stated so many times, then do unborn babies have rights? How about babies aborted before or after 21 weeks?
She acts like she wants a cookie, man. She's just acting like a kid, man.
Human fetus, not human.
Okay.
Quick response
Is it
to
done?
this.
This is actually a really interesting question. Well, I think the language here, you see how you said everything has human rights? I don't believe that everything
Robert
has
Tanner
human
donated
rights.
$200.
Okay.
Sorry for
I
your
get it.
pain,
Sorry.
Andrew and Brian, lol.
You can continue responding to
Yeah, well, I don't believe everything has human rights. I believe every person has human rights. Every human has human rights. And a fetus is not yet a human. But I mean, under Andrew's belief in preferential morality, if I preferred to abort a
Exactly. She wants a participation trophy. Again, she's doing this for the camera. She's not here for a genuine debate, in my opinion.
fetus, then it would be
My
immoral.
opinion.
So actually, I think he's more pro-abortion than I am on that one.
Wow.
All right, we have
Oh, well, look
Pasty
at that.
George coming in again. Thank you, Ryan, for
A
your
message from the Government of Canada.
Pasty George donated $200.04. To Brown Locks, if a tree falls in the deep woods with nobody around, does it make a sound?
Pasty George, if you donate $400 to ask a question and I don't answer, what happens?
Then you don't answer a question.
And he just wasted $200, right?
Well, be fair. You should answer the question
Why?
because it's a Q&A session.
Yeah, so if a tree falls in the deep wood with nobody around, does it make a sound?
Well, I'm going to say, yeah, it makes a sound.
All right, we have
A
few
message
more
from the
coming in.
Government of Canada.
Pasty George donated $200.04. To Brown Locks,
Correct,
in
yeah.
natural law, before
And what do you think, Spliffy? If a tree falls in the middle of the wood, will you think it makes a sound?
the days
Spliffy?
of colonization, I would be able to put an arrow in your head without a second thought because I would believe that I am defending my land from invaders.
But I wouldn't be on your land if it was before colonization. You would never have been near me.
We have a few more
The
coming
Mainex
through.
community donated $199.
Thank
Would
you.
it be moral if China declared war on America to
argument,
decolonize and liberate the indigenous people of the land? And would you support them? If not, why?
No, because I believe violence is immoral and I'm not a consequentialist.
Correct.
You're not a consequentialist?
Andrew, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Pasty George.
I just wanted to clarify you're not a consequentialist.
That was one. Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. She got it right. But I thought she was gonna just throw some weird curveballs. Yeah,
This is in the last debate. If you don't remember, you can look at it again.
Okay.
your gaslight for real.
All right.
Pasty George donated $1,000. For you, Andrew, you deserve it, especially for putting up with the retardedness.
So, Pasty, just to clarify, do you want us to pop a ball of champagne? Do you, either of you want?
I don't want champagne, no.
Can we have it after the debate? Because
I can
take
save
some
you some.
later. Yeah.
Okay.
I want some now.
I guess I'll just drink most of the bottle then. All right, a few.
Brian, are you just gonna drink an entire bottle of champagne?
I'm actually I don't really drink. I'm a bit of a lightweight, so probably not. But Maybe I'll have, if I'm throwing up in the bathroom, I'll have Jake step in as the moderator.
Oh, good
For the
God.
rest of the show.
Okay.
Okay, so those are the Q&As. Let me just double check. All right, we are good to get right back into it. So we were considering as the next prompt, feminism lies about the benevolent nature of men. Andrew wanted to do that one. How's that sound for you?
Cool.
Okay, perfect. We'll get right into it.
Okay, Andrew, if you wanted to do that one, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, hang on a second. Yeah, so when I'm referencing the benevolent...
Flippy, no. He just came like once, Flippy, and he never came back. I mean, he's part of my Discord. He gets my notification, but, you know, I really appreciate that he donated to the chat, man. It's not easy. And, I do this basically for the cause because I don't make a lot of money doing this. But he did support the chat, and I really appreciate it, man. I did appreciate it. He was a little bit, kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of weird, but he did, support the chat.
Nature of men.
And, I
I'm
really
referencing
appreciate
that
that.
men can, at any time they want, take the rights away from women, and there's nothing that women can do about it, and the opposite is not true, and therefore I believe that men are benevolent, and there should be gratitude shown for them not doing that.
Wait, so you do believe that men are benevolent? So then how is feminism lying about the benevolent nature
Because
of men?
feminism is saying that men are not benevolent, that men are the
Oh.
oppressor class.
And you're saying that men are benevolent
Yes.
based on the fact that you could rape someone and then you choose not to.
Based on the fact that...
Kind of the bare minimum, no?
Yeah. Can you repeat back my position so
Do
that I
you
know
want
you
a
understand
cookie?
it?
No, Andrew,
look
why
at
don't
that.
you just repeat it?
She
if you
offered
feel
a
like
cookie to
you
Andrew.
want
I want you to steal man it so I know you understand it.
No, Andrew, I'm not going to steal, man. Just,
Well, I don't know where to go with that, Brian.
just give me your opinion again.
I just gave it. What do you want me to do here? I just gave her the position. She won't steel man it.
Then say it again.
Okay. So one more time.
I don't know, Miro.
Women,
She said, that's what's up, man. I didn't know that. Meaning
in
what?
this case, feminists, consider
About the other dude, the spicy dude? No, he just only hopped on once and that's it.
men to be malevolent oppressors. Men are the oppressor class, the patriarchy. And it's actually through the benevolence of men that women have rights, and I think women should be grateful to men that they have rights.
And how are you defining rights in this instance?
I would consider rights to be a set of preferences that are shared between people.
Okay, set of shared preferences.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, so just reading that back. Men are benevolent because they could kill women, but they choose not to,
Yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
But that's kind of the bare minimum. Like anyone is benevolent.
Yeah, that's just
in
an
that sense.
assertion. Can you substantiate that?
I mean,
What makes it the bare
anyone
minimum?
can commit an act of violence against someone that is smaller than them, and we all every day choose not to. I don't think
Yeah,
that
that's not an
benevolent.
argument. Can you give me an argument?
Yeah, my argument is that I don't necessarily agree with your definition
That's
of
not an
benevolence,
argument.
But well, we just had an hour-long debate over definitions, so now
So
you're
then do
opposed
you
to that
want
when
to
it's
define,
your definition.
Do you want to
that's
define
being-
benevolent?
I mean, honestly, in terms of the premise, I do agree with you that men are benevolent, but I don't agree that benevolence is simply choosing not to commit acts of harm against others.
Really? Because I thought your entire moral stance was about not committing acts of harm against others, and that's what the good is.
Yeah,
So then
but that's kind
that
of
would
the
mean that
bare
then that would mean men are
minimum,
good.
Andrew. No, I mean good is proliferating positive acts.
No, that's not what you said.
I think it's a moral
not what you said.
neutral. I think it's objectively morally neutral.
Objectively morally
Objectively
neutral?
moral
Oh
neutral.
God, not the word objective. Never mind. Cut that one. I think it's just morally neutral. To decide not to kill someone is a moral neutral. You
Okay.
haven't done something
Can you
good.
give
You haven't
me-
done something bad. You've done nothing.
Okay, then can you substantiate what moral neutrality is?
Moral neutrality is when you haven't done something.
Make sure
that
you
is
guys
good or bad.
like the
Okay,
video.
and what are we considering bad here from your argument?
Bad
Or you
would be
can
the proliferation of human
Help with the
suffering.
algorithm.
And this would mean then that since men are not proliferating human suffering, they're not doing anything bad, right?
Yes, but then the opposite of proliferating human suffering would be proliferating something that is beneficial to mankind.
Like women's rights?
But you've done nothing.
Wait, like
it's a zero.
Wait, like
it's a net
wait,
zero.
Like women's rights?
So you don't think that women had any
Yo, the
stake-
gaslighting. Like women's right? So that means you don't. So you're telling me that women are not deserving of rights?
In defining their rights.
That's not.
There we go. That's what I told you, man.
don't-
She just
that
gaslight
women
for
had
real.
any stake in defining their rights.
That's not contending with the argument.
You don't think that like civil
That's not
disobedience
contending
is
Oh,
with the
yeah.
argument. That's asking a question.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
it is
giving you a
contending with
formal
the
argument.
You're saying that men just decided unilaterally
No.
one day that they were going to give women rights, but that's
Yes.
not what happened.
Well,
because
hang on.
we know historically there were multiple waves of feminism in which women participated in civil and civil disobedience in order to be awarded.
Yeah, and my
those rights.
argument is that if men chose to collectivize to stop whatever their collective disobedience was, it would have been stopped.
Okay, so you think that men are good because they could choose to murder all women and they don't?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
And not only that, but that they're benevolent.
Do you want a cookie? Yeah, that's true. I agree.
They're benevolent. Men are
I don't think that all men are
that means that feminism.
But there are tons of men who do commit
Yeah,
acts of
so
violence,
when
and there are tons of women who do commit
yeah,
acts
so
of violence, and
when-
those women are and men are not benevolent.
So that then when feminists claim that the patriarchy is evil and malevolent, you would claim the patriarchy is malevolent.
No, that I would claim the patriarchy is
Benevolent. You would claim it's
Okay,
benevolent.
so there we go. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that I'm claiming the patriarchy is malevolent or benevolent?
I'm asking, is the patriarchy malevolent or benevolent?
No, I believe perpetuating inequality is malevolent, but that doesn't mean that all men are inherently malevolent.
Well, how does the patriarchy advocate for
the patriarchy
inequality?
is a system
Yeah.
of inequality
Run
on
by
the
who?
basis of gender that is run by men.
Okay. So those
Yes.
men are evil?
I think that if you are attempting to perpetuate inequality through the oppression of others,
Yeah.
that is a morally bad action.
And how's the patriarchy doing that?
The patriarchy is perpetuating inequality of women by, denying them the right to vote, denying them.
Didn't they give them the right to vote?
Well, they didn't give them; it was won.
Well, no, they again, unfortunately, just seconds ago, you agreed with me that
Yeah, I
if
do
men,
agree
hang
with
on,
you.
that if men wanted to take away the rights of women to vote, they could. By that logic, then, if the patriarchy could have taken away their right to vote and did not, how could they be anything less than benevolent? Didn't they equalize voting between men and women?
Yes,
Then how could you say that
but the
they're in some
patriarchy
way
isn't what equalized voting between men and women. It was women's struggle that is what granted women the right to vote.
No, it was men who did not get in the way and went ahead and granted it because they could have taken it whenever they wanted.
Well, I
right?
don't think that every man is an inherent master of the patriarchy. I think that
Okay,
there are
but
many men who
If
oppose the patriarchy alongside of women.
Is the system
Yeah, we call those weak men, and you guys usually don't even like them. You guys actually resent those men because you can see that they're doing that. They're simping from you guys for the punani, and you guys can see it, and you guys feel repulsed. If you guys feel repulsed by that.
men or women feminists were fighting against patriarchal?
Yes.
And
I believe that the system is malevolent, but men are not
Yeah.
all inherently
Yeah, I know,
evil.
but can I give the argument?
I'm agreeing with you, Andrew. What are you even arguing
I'm
against?
asking, is the
Gaslighting
patriarchy
is crazy, man.
benevolent?
No.
Well,
I
then
don't
we have a-
believe,
then
but
we
the
have a point of
patriarchy isn't
contention.
a person, Andrew. It's
I'm
all
not saying
I'm the patriarchy.
I'm not
It's a
I'm not saying
system.
it's a person, but if it's men who are in charge of a system and the men in charge of the system allow women to vote, then that would mean that the patriarchy, by your logic, is benevolent.
I believe that a system that is intended to perpetuate inequality on any basis is malevolent.
Then can you tell me how the
However,
patriarchy is
men
malevolent?
are not inherently
Yeah, I know, but can you tell me
malevolent.
then how the patriarchy is malevolent?
The patriarchy is malevolent because it's a system that is perpetuated to increase inequality, which increases human suffering.
Can you demonstrate that?
Well, before feminism and women didn't have the rights to vote, hold credit cards, own homes, leave.
Yeah, correct, Spliffy. The weak men are a bunch of white knights, cock simps. Yeah, that's what they are. They are a bunch of. They're the worst. They're the worst. They are the man. They're the man. The feminists themselves hate. They're the man that carry the toxic masculinity. How about that? They are the man that the female say. The feminists call toxic masculinity. But see, females cannot understand that because they can't compartmentalize their own emotions. So yeah, white knights are the worst.
Their
are the
husbands
worst.
get divorced, sued and be sued. If a woman were to be mistreated by a man, she would have no power to leave that man without sacrificing her ability to have housing, food, and basic human needs. So it puts women in a position of dependency on men, so that if there is an individual man who decides to behave malevolently, that woman has no ability to get away from him.
And the patriarchy
perpetuates that by preventing women from having access to jobs and the things that would allow them to get their own resources.
Yeah. So there's two arguments.
Their own individual freedom.
Yeah, there's two arguments there. So I'll contend with both of them. Let's start with the first one. If it is the case that the patriarchy was acting in a malevolent way and women appealed to the patriarchy and they granted them these various rights that you considered was unjust, which by your logic they had to, then wouldn't that be the patriarchy acting benevolently?
But we're not appealing to the patriarchy.
Well, then who would
we're appealing to the morality of men. I don't think that all men are naturally just patriarchy.
Then when you were fighting the system...
The patriarchy is a system, but men are not the system.
So
some men are creators
did the system give you the right to vote?
The system did not give us the right to vote.
Then who did?
Men who were not who did not subscribe to the system helped us establish the right to vote through our own work as social muckrakers.
So wait, I'm confused.
Civil disobedience.
Who was in charge?
I mean, do you not believe in like protests?
Who was in charge at the time? Was it a patriarchal system?
Yes, it was a patriarchal system.
And did that patriarchal system give you the right to vote?
No.
Well, then how did you get the right to vote?
Men and women who were against the concept.
They are an Adam 22 fan. Yeah, man. Isn't Adam 22? He's getting a divorce, I think. Am I correct there? It's basically the red pill and the manosphere were correct again. Yeah, the Adam 22 is just I don't know how in the hell he became a cuck, man. I don't know.
And the proliferation of the patriarchy fought alongside each other.
Fought how? With science?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's worked all over the world. Nelson Mandela, Gandhi.
I see. So hang on.
There is civil disobedience that has awarded people rights.
How did they win it exactly? Like, what did they do?
Well, a law was passed that gave women the right to vote.
What law?
Which amendment is it?
You don't know?
19.
No, I don't remember which amendment specifically is the one that gives women the right to vote, but there was an amendment that gave women the right to vote. There's also an amendment that gives...
So then actually the established system, which was in power, which was patriarchal, passed an amendment for women to vote?
But it's not a system passing... A system is not a person, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Do people get to vote on amendments?
Yes. So people voted on the amendment.
Okay, who were those people? Who were those peoples? Men. It's the need to be right is insane, man.
It's not the
Brian,
system.
can we pull up?
Do you understand the difference between a system and a person who is in a system?
I would like to pull up if people voted on the amendment.
Yes, people did vote on the amendment.
Okay.
So you think that all of those people, like, do you think that every man is inherently...
Yeah, and worse, you're right, Spliffy. Not only he married an OF girl, but, bro, they have a kid, man. Yo, I have kids myself. I cannot see myself doing demonic shit like that. I cannot see myself doing demonic stuff knowing that I have kids, man. Retired vet 2020. Is Andrew actually going to debate or just Dutch? What are you talking about? He's debating. What are you talking about? She's the one that's dodging. She didn't even remember that the 19th Amendment was the amendment passed to give the females the right to vote. And it was men that wanted to pass it.
The patriarchy?
Which was a huge mistake.
Hang on. Let's do a fact check here. I just want to make sure.
Well, do you think that every man is inherently the patriarchy?
Would you like me to pull up?
Did the people have a direct vote on the 19th Amendment?
No, it's 19th. Glad I didn't guess. I was going to say 22nd.
Wow, bro, the 22nd. Damn, bro. 22nd Amendment. Golly, man. I'm glad I didn't see it because I was gonna say this 22nd. You can't make this stuff up, man. And then you wonder why the repeal of the 19th Amendment is becoming more popular.
In some facet other than collective preference.
Whoa, hold up.
Still exists. That going outside could potentially cause bodily harm. And by the way,
isn't going outside always potentially something that can...
think
it here?
statistically it's a high enough foreseeable risk. How many people get the flu every year?
Wait a second. How many people do you think 7 million people is a
Hold
say
up.
that they're not attracted to each and every individual in that?
Man, I messed up. I messed up. Oh, I messed up. I messed up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I messed up big time. What was the...
Sex and choose that.
I think it's around where they took a break somewhere around here, and then here. I messed up. My bad.
So
Do
that
you
no one
want a
understand
cookie?
it. That.
I mean,
What makes it the...
but then the opposite of proliferating human suffering would be proliferating who
If
oppose the patriarchy alongside of women.
Is the system paid that men or women?
Freedom.
Yeah, there's two arguments there, so
Sure.
I'll compete.
Outlined in the U.S. Constitution.
Okay.
There you go, right here.
No, it's 19th.
There you go.
Glad I didn't guess. I was going to say 22nd.
Keep telling myself, fucking rock man. 22nd. Just yeah. I'm glad the Andrew didn't say anything. I'm glad the Andrew didn't say anything. Just let tension eat her soul.
It says, no, the general public did not have a direct vote on the 19th Amendment.
But that's not how any amendment
The
is
amendment
added.
was ratified through the process outlined in the U.S. Constitution,
Okay.
which involves votes by elected representatives.
So then people did vote.
So who was the system?
Who is
No, that
the
wasn't
system?
the people voting.
Yes,
you
elected.
just got caught in
so
a
are
huge lie.
Wait, hold on, Andrew. Are elected representatives human or not? Are they people?
Were they the patriarchy?
No,
Man.
I'm asking you, are they human?
Sure.
The question was, did people vote?
Yo, we had got to the point that we can't even say men. We cannot even say men. She literally cannot even give a win to the man. The man passed the amendment.
To
Was that-
ratify the 19th Amendment.
They
I'm saying
didn't.
yes. And
The
there
people
were-
didn't vote.
I'm not saying the people,
Yes,
the
you
entire
were.
country. I'm saying people.
You're just gaslighting because you got caught
No,
in a
I'm
lie.
not, Andrew.
Now help me out
I'm
here.
saying people as in...
Were the elected officials the patriarchy?
I don't believe that all of the... I don't know every single elected official.
Then who
voted
was
on
the
this.
patriarchy they were fighting against?
It's a system. It's
And
not
who
a
was in charge of the
person.
system?
Do you understand?
Who
that
was
it's
in
not a
charge of the
person?
system?
The system proliferates itself. No one is specifically like. Do you think there's
How
like
do
a
systems
Lorax for
proliferate
the
themselves without
patriarchy?
people?
A system is created
By
Actually,
people.
That's it. Yes. So a system is created by people and can be amended by people, but the system itself is not a person. Do you understand that? There's no person who's like, I am the spokesperson.
Was
of the
the patriarchy in charge of the system or not?
Was the patriarchy in charge of the patriarchy?
Was the patriarchy in charge of the system?
Of what system?
Of the electoral system?
Was the patriarchy in charge? Well, men were in charge of the electoral system.
Was the patriarchy?
But the patriarchy's not able to be in charge of the patriarchy. What's wrong with you?
Who's in charge of the patriarchy if it's not the patriarchy?
Well, it's men, but not every man is inherently a member of the patriarchy.
Who says every man? I'm talking about elected.
Exactly.
I'm talking about elected officials. Were
Exactly.
the elected officials who these women were protesting to change the law the patriarchy they were protesting against?
I don't know if every single elected official that voted on the 19th Amendment was for or against the patriarchy, Andrew.
Were they the patriarchy?
Are they all the patriarchy? I'm not going to make that assumption about.
Then
a
what
large
system
group
are
of
you?
people.
Then point to what the system is that's the patriarchy. What is that system?
The system of the patriarchy is the government structure that enabled, well, actually, the system of the patriarchy is the structure in government that enables inequality on the basis of gender. It's not just one thing, it's a series of laws.
And was that system of patriarchy?
It was set up by men.
And was it in
yes.
place at the time that the 19th Amendment was put in place? That
Yes.
system of, and so weren't they appealing to that system of patriarchy in order to get the 19th Amendment passed?
They appealed to men who worked within the patriarchy, but those men don't
So the
have
patriarchy?
to be the patriarchy.
So they appealed to the patriarchy.
But not every man is the patriarchy.
I didn't say they were.
Yes,
In this
you're
case, we're talking about a system of elected officials where that system of elected
I
officials,
don't think that the
patriarchy.
Constitution and the entire government is the patriarchy.
Then what is the
Andrew.
patriarchy?
It's
Point to it.
specific laws that enable the proliferation
How can
of
a law be a
inequality.
patriarchy?
A law can be so it's specific laws that enable the proliferation of inequality.
That can't be the
on basis of
patriarchy. The
gender.
patriarchy's
Yes,
people,
it's
isn't
a
it?
collection. No, you're the one that said that.
Patriarchy is not people?
No, it's an inanimate object. It's not a fucking person. You keep saying the patriarchy is people. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So what's it?
Well, they have moved the goalpost so far away. So the patriarchy, which was built by men, is not built from. It's not built by men anymore. It's just something. It's just a spectrum, I guess. Something, an idea that's floating through the universe, I guess.
What's a matriarchy?
Like
a
the video, guys.
matriarchy would be a system of laws that proliferates the inequality of the sexes in favor of women.
So if you have a matriarchy, would it require that there was women who were in charge and in powerful positions, the top
Yes.
positions?
Yes.
Right? Otherwise, it wouldn't be matriarchal, right?
Sure.
So then patriarchal, it would have to have men in those same positions.
Yes, but those men
Hang on.
are not
Let me
the
just follow up.
patriarchy,
Let me just follow up.
right?
Well, no, I think who else would be the patriarchy then?
It's a system. It's laws, Andrew.
Can you-
Like the law that did not allow women to vote is a part of the patriarchal system. But it's not one freaking dude. Why do you keep thinking that the patriarchy is a single set of humans?
Okay, well then walk me through.
It can be an ideology as well.
Okay, I
So,
see.
like, if you are a man who says, I believe that women don't have a right to vote, then yes, you would be in favor of a patriarchal system.
when feminists were fighting against patriarchy, they were fighting against an inanimate object.
We're fighting against a system, yes.
An inanimate object?
Do you not understand how systemic oppression works?
Well, I don't understand how
No, you don't understand how
patriarchy
systemic
works.
oppression works. Okay, so you don't understand how patriarchy
I guess I don't.
Thank you. All right,
I'm
well-
super confused. Feminists were fighting against an inanimate object.
It's a system. Do you know what a system is? Can you define the
Well,
word system?
I think that systems of governance require human beings.
Yes.
And I think specifically that
But systems of
I think
government-
specifically feminists were pointing at men in the government as being the patriarchy for sure.
Systems of government require human beings, but systems of government are not human beings. That's what I'm saying. Those men might have had power because of the patriarchy, but the patriarchy is not defined by those 5 people. If they were to die, then the patriarchy is not dead, it's not over. And that's the issue with the system, is because it's inanimate, you can't just appeal to one group of people and expect it to end.
So let me
That's why there's been multiple waves of feminism.
Okay, so I just
if the
wanna-
patriarchy was just the people that ratified the 19th
Yeah,
Amendment, then
yeah.
we would be over. Like there'd be nothing to talk about.
So when you're appealing to, I want to get rid of the patriarchy,
Yeah.
you're saying that you want to just change governmental systems?
I want to repeal certain laws that proliferate the inequality.
So
of the
patriarchy is just
sexes.
laws?
Well, it's a collection of laws and systems, yes.
Well, what system?
Well, it's within the United States government system.
Yeah, but what's the system look like? Because it looks to me like we have the same fucking system that we had then.
Yes, but you see how laws can be amended and can change
So
the
it's just
rights?
laws.
Yes, essentially. It's
So,
a collection of laws.
so patriarchy is just a collection of laws.
Well, it's the idea that a collection of laws creates a system of inequality. Yes,
Okay, so
on the basis of gender.
Is any law which creates something which is unequal based along gender lines patriarchal?
Well, if it creates inequality on the like in favor of women, then no, that would be a matriarchal law, right?
Okay, so matriarchy and patriarchy from your view,
It's not a human. It's a collection of laws.
it's just laws.
Yes.
So if laws favor a gender, then it's matriarchal, and if laws favor the gender female, then or sex female, then it's matriarchal.
Yes.
And sex male, it's patriarchal.
Yeah, and I'm fine with sex and gender interchangeably. I know some woke
I mean,
people
I'm
are.
not
Really?
really.
You don't think that you can use sex and gender interchangeably in this context?
No, I think that.
You're saying a split fee. If I react to Fresh and Fit, I do, but the problem is that they have a copyright ID. And every time that I used to react to them, but it will give me like a copyright ID. So that's why I stopped
I
reacting
think that
to
when
Fresh and
progressives
Fit.
say gender, they mean something that I mean. I use it interchangeably with sex because I mean female and male, and they don't. So let me
In the
ask you.
context of this, I think we should use it interchangeably, but that's okay if you don't want to.
So help me out here with this then. I just want to make sure I got this right. When we're talking about systems of enforcement for laws, for these laws,
Yes.
is the primary enforcement mechanism going to be men?
Well, the primary enforcement mechanism for most laws is our legal system, right?
No, the enforcement arm.
The enforcement would be the police.
And would you say that the police are mostly compiled of men?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Would you say that almost all enforcement mechanisms are compiled mostly by men?
Sure.
So then if we're talking about just the enforcement of laws that you want, aren't you again appealing to men?
Okay. And?
I just want to make sure that that's correct.
Okay.
Well, then you're ratifying force doctrine.
I'm not ratifying force doctrine now, because it's not a judgment on. I mean, actually, I believe in your descriptor of force doctrine. My issue is that I don't believe in your prescriptor of force doctrine.
Yeah, I
don't
know,
believe
but
in
it
your
is what it
opinion
is. You know
on
what I'm saying?
Force doctrine is
force
not a
doctrine-
prescription.
Well, do you have an opinion on force doctrine? Do you believe that?
It's a descriptor.
Do you believe that it's moral?
What?
Force doctrine. Do you
Wow.
believe that using coercive force
Wait a second.
to consolidate power is moral?
Sometimes.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, sometimes it
that.
is. But
But not all the time?
no.
Okay, deal.
No.
Deal.
But
I like that.
the thing is,
Andrew, you know we mostly like agree on this one, right? Like, what the fuck are we even talking about right now?
well, I just wanted to make sure that, I mean, it actually does sound like you think that if all you're appealing to when you say patriarchy is laws that are passed, right? That's it. And that's what patriarchy is. I think that is in complete disagreement with the feminist movement and what early feminist pioneers were saying, which is that it's a male-oriented system, not laws.
It is a male-oriented.
And that it's the men who are in charge, which are problematic. So
I believe that the laws are what are basically more. I believe that the laws are what are malevolent in this system. When
Okay.
it comes to the existence of the patriarchy, it is laws. Those laws were created by some men. Those men who created laws to perpetuate inequality, they are immoral for that action. But I don't believe that all men are immoral just because we live in a patriarchal society. I mean, that would be ridiculous. How would I do anything? How would I have a conversation with
But that's
any
not
of
what
you?
I'm asking.
It
I'm
is,
asking
though.
you to
You said that
differentiate.
feminism lies about the benevolence
They
of
do.
men, and that feminists believe
Feminists
that all
do.
Yeah, there might be, but we need to move the culture more right for that to happen. You know, we move it, and we had to. I don't know how to explain this. We have to change the culture, man. Like the culture is still kind of lefty. We have gained a lot of ground, but it's still very lefty. The culture in itself.
Lie
men
about the
are
benevolence
immoral,
of men.
and I don't think that all men are immoral.
Yeah, well then I don't think that you believe in the same prescriptions that your feminist forebears did.
My feminist forebears didn't believe all men were immoral.
Well, it's not
either.
all.
They had husbands.
They definitely believed, though, that the system of patriarchy was literally men who wanted to be in charge and men reinforcing the system of men
Yes.
being in charge.
But that's not every man, is what I'm saying.
I didn't say it was.
Okay.
That's not the point.
But we're talking about the benevolence of all men. Yes, I believe that the men who created the patriarchy are immoral, but that doesn't mean that the men who continue to exist in the patriarchy
Okay.
are all
And
Yeah, it's still the culture's still bad. You see, there's still Catholic preachers just baptizing gay people. Like look at UK, Europe. Like we have a lot of immigration going on. We're not there yet, man. We're not there yet. You have to be careful also with a lot of people that like to make the movement about themselves instead of the goal itself. See, they get this main character syndrome that they say the red pill's dead, or they walk right, all this stuff. You have to be very careful with that, because what they do is the modern how do you call it? They're stirring the water. They're making all the problems about themselves instead about the goal. The goal for me is more important than any main character. I have a family, I have a wife, I have a future to protect.
what
inherently
makes
immoral.
those men immoral?
What makes those men immoral is that they sought to perpetuate inequality within our society
And what makes that
Correct.
immoral?
on the
Completely
basis
correct.
of gender.
Yeah, what makes inequality
Well,
immoral?
I believe it's the violation of natural rights, but you don't agree that those exist. So I guess it is completely immoral to oppress. It's completely moral to oppress people, according to you.
Well, so what natural right?
But if you wanted to do your
I just want to
prescriptive
make sure.
definition of
Yeah, I just want to make sure when
morality,
you
because
say
we don't want to be.
yeah, when you say a natural right, you believe that it's immoral under natural rights. Which natural right does that violate?
Well, I believe that we all have a natural right to bodily autonomy, physical autonomy.
You do,
Yeah,
really?
the right to bodily autonomy. Yes.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so if two twin brothers want to have sex with each other, are they allowed to?
Oh my God! Wait, my bingo. Wait, my bingo. Oh, hold on.
Can you just answer
What
the
are we
fucking
gonna say?
question? This is so performative and cringe.
If two twin brothers.
Oh my god.
I guess that
Such a
was also
childish.
Yeah,
Right.
can we just, it's so cringe. Can you
childish.
just engage with the fucking debate? If two
Yeah,
twin
so
brothers want to
childish.
enter into an incestuous relationship, do you have...
This is a very good argument that Andrew has been bringing up in a lot of these debates. The gay, the brothers engaging in same-sex relationship. This is a very important
any
argument.
moral objection to that based on your standard of natural law? As you just said, everybody has bodily autonomy.
So long as it's not harming yourself or others. I don't think that this is necessarily relevant to the conversation.
Can you answer the
Do
question?
you know two twin brothers who are
Can
trying
you
to fuck
answer
right
the
now?
question? Do you believe that two twin
trying to fuck?
brothers who have sex with each other, do you think that that's inherently immoral?
I think it's disgusting.
Is it inherently immoral?
I think it's pretty gross.
Is it inherently immoral?
I mean, to me, yes. But
Well, then you just violated your own definition of natural law, which says that people have bodily autonomy. You're saying now they don't, and that's immoral. So which is it?
yeah, I mean, it's just gross, though. It's
Okay,
not-
so is it immoral?
Yeah, I mean, well, what are the repercussions of it? Are they harming themselves or each other?
They're both consenting.
Damn.
If two consenting brothers want to commit an act of incest,
Is it immoral?
I don't know. I think it's kind of a gray area. I say
Whoa. It's kind of a gray area. What do you guys think, chat? What do you guys think? It's a gray area to have brothers having, same-sex happiness. Having same happiness. Mexican food. I don't know. I'm gonna try to avoid YouTube, banning my channel, but I don't know where do you go from here, guys. I really don't know. A gray area.
it's technically
I mean, let me know if you guys think this is a gray area.
not defying either of their right to bodily autonomy, but I think it could potentially cause
Is
harm.
it immoral or not inherently?
Damn,
I don't know.
bro.
What do you think?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Answer the fucking question. Is it inherently immoral or not?
Damn.
I don't know, honestly. I'm gonna say I don't know.
You don't know
What
if
do you
it's.
think?
You
That's
don't
the end of
know
the debate,
if it's
guys.
Inherently.
At this point, that's the end of this topic. At this point, just move to the next topic. Yeah, Andrew already won this topic.
Moral after you just said you believe every single individual has bodily autonomy for two twin brothers to engage in an incestuous relationship. You don't know?
I think that if it's harming themselves or others, then yes, that would be immoral.
Okay.
Like, if their parents knew about this and it destroyed their family, then yeah, that would be immoral.
Well, no, because how would that violate bodily autonomy? Who cares what their parents know and it hurts their feelings? Who gives a shit? Do you care about if your parents care about your sexual relationships?
If it destroyed my family, I think they would care. Yeah.
That's inherently immoral if you engage in a relationship your parents don't agree with.
It's not just that they don't agree with it, it's that it would destroy their family.
I can make the same argument for a homosexual child. Oh, you're having a homosexual relationship and we're heavily religious, so that destroyed our whole family.
Yeah, but that's on the basis of choice. Like, religion is a choice.
Both of these are based on choice.
No, you can't really choose who's your brother.
You can choose to fuck him.
Yeah, that's true. But you can't choose who's your brother. You can choose who, you can choose to have an issue with homosexuality. That's a choice.
Both are choices.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's gross and wrong.
Well, it's not wrong, right? It's just, is it immoral?
I mean, it's not violating their personal bodily autonomy, but it's wrong.
Okay, what does that mean then? Wrong. Does wrong mean immoral?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Andrew?
I'm asking.
Oh, my
I want
God.
an answer, and then I'll give you my answer. But for the
Okay.
love of God, answer a question.
Okay, I'm going to say that there are limits to bodily autonomy and that is immoral. How's that?
So then, what is the limits to bodily autonomy?
I would say if you're harming yourself or others, that would be a limit on
Then
one's
demonstrate the
bodily
harm,
autonomy.
the bodily harm to themselves.
Because
Well,
they're
I mean, they
consenting.
would be completely disgraced by society. That's a pretty
So
significant
that
harm.
if I completely disgrace myself in front of society, that's immoral.
Yeah, you're harming yourself. That's
What?
self-harm. You don't think so? Like, if you were to run around the streets naked and get
Do you
arrested,
think that at
would
first
be-
Martin Luther King was embarrassing himself in front of society? Because at first I think he was, until he wasn't.
Oh my God! Do you think Martin Luther King was embarrassing
Until he
himself?
wasn't.
Do you think that Martin Luther King is a moral equivalent
There we go, the gaslighting, man. She's ready to move the goalposts, guys.
to fucking?
No,
your
I'm doing an internal
brother?
criticism in order to get you to understand that the concept that you just gave me was, if society considers you and your viewpoints cringe, that's bodily harm. Do you realize how crazy that is to say out loud?
No, but society is not considering incest cringe. That's different.
Yes, that's all they're doing is considering
no,
it
incest
cringe.
is different than demanding human rights for black people.
Bro, Why? I don't know why you're.
Because you brought up MLK.
Because I'm giving an example of if society socially found you to be super cringe, you're saying that is self-harm.
I think that it would be self-harm to destroy your relationship with your family and ostracize your. Oh, do you want me to? I think that it would be self-harm to destroy your relationship with your family and to ostracize yourself from.
Yeah, you have poor farmer. I think you're right. This is what the debate class with no philosophy gets you. Yeah, this is sad to hear, man. This is so. You know what? Why it's so sad? Because you're not really learning anything. You're just learning somebody asking a genuine question to know their worldview, and the other person just constantly gaslighting. It's kind of tiring. It's very tiring. You don't learn anything.
Society
Like
for the purpose
you feel your IQ dropping. It's
of
weird,
having
man.
sex with your brother.
Okay, would that apply to just regular homosexuality? If you were in a religious community and that was your community, or perhaps you're in a religious nation or state, and you decided to engage in homosexuality and that destroyed your family, all of society went against you, that is now the same, the same principle of self-harm. How would that not equally apply?
Homosexuality is not a choice. Having sex with your brother is a
Having
choice.
sex as a homosexual is a choice.
So you don't think that any homosexual should be allowed to have sex so long as their family?
Do you understand that when you just continuously say, so you believe when I ask you a question,
But
that is the cringiest thing that you do. Anytime I ask you a question, you just say, so you believe that blah blah blah.
Well,
I'm
then
asking
why don't
you a
bother
question.
to share your freaking beliefs? Then I don't have to ask you.
I
and
literally
probe
just
you.
got
You
done.
Refused. I mean, even the last one.
I literally just gave. I went through all of my views. I just went through all of my views on this, and we agreed. And now we're on bodily autonomy. So
then
the thing
why
is,
are we even
please answer my question and stop obfuscating. Stop evading.
Okay,
stop
I will
lying.
answer your question. Shush. Homosexuality is biologically natural. Like, it's a natural part of a homosexual human's biology.
Wow.
It's not something that can change.
Which there's no evidence for that, but okay.
Your choice to disagree or be disgusted by homosexuality can change. However, your brother, having sex with your brother, is not a human necessity. Even if you are a homosexual, you don't have to choose to have sex with your brother. Therefore, you are causing emotional and physical harm to your family. However, being gay is not a choice.
So if it's the
Do you think that being gay is a choice?
So if it's the case that is, would you agree with me? The definition of homosexuality is attracted to the same sex for purposes of sexual intercourse or something like this.
Yes.
Great. So then, if it's the case that you're attracted to your twin brother, is that a choice?
To act on that attraction is a choice.
Well, then I would say the same thing about homosexuality, wouldn't I?
But it's not like you can choose who specifically you are attracted to, but the sex of the person
You can't
you're
choose
attracted to is not a
specifically
choice.
who you're attracted to. That's insane.
Really?
You can choose who you're attracted to.
You don't think that there's any personal
If you
preference
can just
involved
choose
in
who you're
choosing-
attracted to, then why can't homosexuals just choose to be attracted to women?
You can't.
Can you answer that?
The specific person.
Yeah, why can't-
Not the general sex of all people you're attracted to.
So you can choose people you're attracted to.
Andrew, some of them, but not all of them. Like,
So
not
if
the
you're
entirety
attracted,
of
so
the
if you're
sex.
attracted to your twin brother, right, and attraction is something you can't help, that's your justification for homosexuality, then
No.
what is the immorality here?
I think that an attraction to a specific sex or gender is something you cannot help. But an attraction
Why not a specific
to
person?
a specific person is something you can
How? How do you help who you're attracted to? How?
Really? You've never been attracted to someone and been like, ugh, I just don't want, like, I don't like them? Like, you've never done that?
Do you realize that you just refuted yourself?
You've never
How do
been
you
able
help
to
who
cha-
you're attracted to? You say you've never been attracted to somebody, and then that already presumes you're attracted to them.
Yes, you can choose not to be attracted to someone
You
who
can't
you were at one
choose.
point
You can
attracted
choose who
to.
you're attracted to.
I mean, I can. Maybe you're just like,
You can?
Maybe I'm just built different. I don't know, man.
Okay. Do you think most people can choose who they're attracted to?
I think that the majority of people can decide on a singular individual whether or not they're attracted to them. Yes.
Are you serious?
Not based entirely, like, you can't decide what's.
Well, attraction is not a choice, right? You can be attracted to beautiful women, right? You can be attracted to a nice Swedish girl with a nice legs and all that stuff. Beautiful girl, right? You can be attracted to that, but the choice of not act on it, that's what counts. Right? Because in reality, attraction is not a choice. You cannot have a choice of not being attracted to. You can play certain things. You can train yourself, but you're not supposed to act on certain attractions, right? You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to be attracted to certain things that will ruin your life or your family. You're not supposed to act on those impulses.
Sex you're attracted
Then why
to.
can't
But I think
homosexual
you
men just choose to not be attracted to all other men?
Did you just hear what I said? You cannot decide what sex you are attracted to.
No. They're attracted
But
to
you
the sex.
can
I know they're attracted to the sex, but why can't they just choose to not be attracted to every man?
You cannot because I'm answering your question. You cannot choose which sex you're attracted to.
They're
But you
attracted to the
can
sex,
choose
but they're
which
choosing not to be attracted to
individual-
every man.
I'm using sex by gender.
I am
Yes.
too. I'm using. Listen,
Okay.
I'm so.
then what the fuck are you
here,
talking
look.
about?
It's simple. They're attracted to only men.
This red herring has
But
gone
because
way
it's not a
out.
red herring.
Let him
Yes, it
finish.
is.
No, it's not.
Yes,
so
it
they're
is.
so they're able.
Hold on, let him
I'm
finish.
It's a
internally
random argument.
critiquing.
Hold on.
I'm internally
One at a
critiquing
time,
bodily
one at a
autonomy.
time. Go ahead.
Okay.
And all you do is run. So the thing is like, look, this is super simple. Why couldn't you be attracted to an entire sex, right? But since you say individual attraction, right, is something which can be helped, then you're only attracted to males as a homosexual. But shouldn't you be able to control being attracted to every single individual male who is in that homosexual category?
No, because individual attraction is different than your sexuality. It's a specific person versus an entire sex. Do you
Yeah,
not
so
understand the difference
so
between
then you
those things?
individualize them, and each individual person in that sex category you choose not to be attracted to.
No, that would be impossible.
Why?
Correct.
Because it's biological.
So then, if you can't help who you're attracted to,
You cannot
that's the
help-
justification for homosexuality. Why?
You're saying, baby, you're saying, if you do that, how you get UK and Paris right now with the grape underwear being a thing? Correct. That's a good
Why
point.
couldn't that be the
No.
justification for an incestuous
Because you
relationship?
don't understand the difference between a sex and an individual. You can choose the individuals you decide you want to be attracted or not attracted to, but you can't decide the entire sex you decide to be
No,
attracted
you're attracted to the entire sex, but why couldn't they just say that they're not attracted to each and every individual in that sex and choose that?
Because that's the entire sex. If it's all of them, then that's still the sex.
Well, then-
if it's every individual, then that's the sex.
Then your argument's circular the other way too.
It's not circular the
Yeah,
other
they
way,
only have
Andrew.
one brother.
Your argument is
if you
circular
only
the
have
other
one
way.
brother and you're only attracted to your brother, right? Or you're only attracted to your family members,
But that's
or you're
not
only attracted to
biological.
that.
Let each other finish.
If it's the case that you're only attracted to your family members, right? How can you help that?
What version of sexuality is one where you are only attracted to your family?
Actually, there is a version of it. Would you like Brian to pull it up?
What the fuck is that?
Pull it up, Brian.
What do you
What
want
do
me
you
to
call a person who's only attracted to family members?
An incestophile?
I think so.
An incest.
You're saying meaning these guys are attracted to all these foreign girls, but can't help themselves and do what they do. Yes, correct. Good point.
Define.
Well, we'll find out.
They do what they
I
do.
mean, that
Yeah,
sounds like
the
a
they can't
mental
control
illness
themselves.
above anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but you have to make a justification for why two twin brothers couldn't have sex with each other and why that would be immoral based on your bodily autonomy argument that everybody should have bodily autonomy. You'd
Well,
have to
it's-
demonstrate the harm.
Yes, there's still bodily autonomy, but you would be harming your entire family as well as yourself.
I
You
can
would
make
be.
the same argument for homosexuality.
Yes, but homosexuality is not a choice. Fucking your brother is.
Do you want the definition?
Oh my god. Oh my god. So effing your brother is a choice, but being a happy person is not a choice. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, man, I feel sometimes that I drop my IQs drop, 20 points or 30 points. I can't. I can't, man. Imagine being Andrew in these debates. She's contradicting herself. She's just contradicting herself. Meaning, like, if you sleep with your brother like that, like it's not it is a choice. But what do you mean it is a choice? It could be an attraction. So if you are sleeping with your brother, that means there were some attraction already built. So at some point you have to understand that yes, people sleeping with their same sex, it is a choice. It is a choice.
Or not the definition, the term. I believe
Yeah, the
this is the
term.
term. I don't know if this rings a bell. Consanguineous.
Yeah. Consanguineous.
Consanguinamorous.
Yeah.
A person who in a consensual romantic or sexual relationship with an adult blood relative.
That's crazy.
Consanguinamorous.
Okay.
I try my best.
Your family all.
Wait,
here.
I want to know what percentage of the
Spliffy, you say, I mean, if I went to Colombia and a baddie comes up to me, I might just go with the. I hear you. Bro, you can't speak on low IQ when you have difficulty formulating a sentence. Man, whatever, bro.
Population.
Sure. Hey, sure, man. I can't. You know what? Yeah, I'm dummy. I'm very dumb. Sure, bro.
Let's try this.
Like, is this like
How is that even an argument? How is that? Now you gaslighting like her. Now you're a gaslighter like her. How is it her argument? How is it that she's saying that when you're sleeping with your same relative, bloodline, it is a choice. But when you are choosing to sleep with the same gender, it's not a choice, it's natural. Just stick with the argument. Don't be dummy, man.
You nailed
Now
it.
you're demonstrating that you have low IQ.
Is this a large group of
What
people?
Percentage?
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very small.
It's probably
It's
small.
gotta be.
So-
So then why are we talking
because
about
it's-
this? When
we're
it comes-
testing
No, actually, I want
to finish it. I'm almost done.
Redirect the conversation.
We can,
back
and I'm
to
almost
general
done. I
bodily
just want to ask
autonomy.
one last question.
I think it's weird that we've been so focused on
One last
these
question
two
on
twin
bodily autonomy.
incest
Just to be
bros.
fair, I searched her thing up. So globally, it says about 20% of the world's population lives in communities where consanguineous marriage is preferred, with a rate of 20 to 50% in parts of the Middle East, North Africa, and South Asia.
They're all immoral, right?
So in those countries, it's well. I mean, if they're
They're all immoral, right?
hold on. Can I ask you a question?
You have to ask a
Yeah.
question. Yeah, look.
They're all immoral, right?
So in those countries, it's well. I mean, if they're
They're all immoral, right?
hold on. Can I
Yeah.
ask you a question?
Of course.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, wait. I want to go back to more research on this. I feel like I can't give you a good answer because I.
It's okay, Spliffy, it's okay. Lad, LA to Texas, whatever. He can be crazy. He can be crazy. Let him be. He still hasn't answered my question, so.
I don't really know anything about it.
Well, there's also cousin marriage worldwide.
Yeah, because are we talking about like the cultural tradition of marrying your cousins or having incest with a sibling in a society that does not accept?
Well, here, I'll just make it
consanguineous
simple.
marriage?
I'm just going to make it super easy, the question. Your whole family dies in a tragic accident except your twin brother. So now you can't destroy them emotionally because they're all dead. Is it okay or moral then to have a twin brother incestuous relationship based on your principle of bodily autonomy?
I guess if you're not hurting anyone, including yourself, then sure. But I don't think that this negates the basic belief that bodily autonomy is a human right. Because I do think the consequences of living in a society where bodily autonomy doesn't exist are far greater. I mean, if nobody has a right to bodily autonomy, then at any point, any of us would be able to just fuck with each other and physically harm each other.
But don't you want to
without
restrict bodily
consequence.
autonomy constantly?
What?
Don't you want to restrict bodily autonomy constantly?
In what universe do I want to restrict?
Well, I don't
bodily
know. Did you
autonomy?
support the lockdowns?
Did I support the? Well, that again is an exception in the case of creating harm to yourself or others.
Well, wasn't that
Those are the two exceptions.
Wasn't that a subjective harm?
Millions of people died. Is that subjective to you?
Well, I mean, it's a subjective harm that you lock people in their homes or lock down their businesses. It's-
Millions of people died, though. It's
Yeah.
not subjective that those people died. They objectively died.
Yeah, but I mean,
Did you know
here's-
anyone who lost
here's
anyone
the problem.
during COVID?
Yeah, of course.
It was brutal,
Yeah,
man.
of course. But the
How
thing
could
is,
you argue that
how could it be so you don't really believe in a principle of bodily autonomy?
But it's foreseeable risk. Like, there's a foreseeable risk that if you go outside while there is a contagious, deadly disease, and you continue to spread that
Yeah.
contagious, deadly disease,
So-
you could foreseeably cause
So
bodily harm to
bodily
somebody else.
autonomy should be restricted as long as we can justify that there's some sort of harm to other people. Is that right?
Yes, to an extent.
To an extent.
I think that there are certain exceptions, but I think on a general principle, yeah, I agree with
Correct.
that.
So why shouldn't we stop women from having an abortion if half of us perceive the harm of it?
Well, because you haven't proven that that's a legitimate
Why do we
harm.
need to? All we have to do is perceive it that way.
No, you have to prove that there's legitimate
Then
harm.
why do we care about this?
Foreseeable risk, like on a legal sense, you have to be able to prove
Then
that
why-
there's a foreseeable risk.
then why do we care
you
about
can't
you
just
just-
go based off vibes?
Then why is it that we care about you hurting your entire family because it hurts yourself again? Because that's just perception.
Because there was a proven foreseeable risk. Like legally, there was a proven foreseeable risk that going outside could potentially cause bodily harm. And by the way,
Isn't
people
going outside always potentially
But by
something
the
that can
way,
cause bodily
Andrew,
harm?
I mean, I was also alive during COVID. People still left their houses all the time. People threw parties. Like people did tons of stuff.
They
during
resisted.
COVID.
They resisted the state-sponsored bullshit. That's true.
But it wasn't a mandate. Like it wasn't forcing you to
They
be
did
inside.
force.
Oh,
The
yeah, they
lockdown
did
was
force it.
shut.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
They forced, especially in New York City. If you were at that time, I was in New York City, and they were forcing it. Worse, they made during the riots or the George Floyd riots, man. If you were part of the riot, you were good. If you were not part of the riot, they will put you back in prison, man. Right into prison. It was crazy times. Crazy times. Crazy time. There were places that when we moved to Milwaukee, the BGBYN, I think it was, man, they would just force you to put a mask right at the gate. And by that time, Wisconsin was not even wearing masks. It was crazy, man. Yeah, there was a lot of force.
Okay, well, you could still go
And
outside,
they had,
though.
and progressives wanted COVID passports. Where are your paper checkpoints? Right? Very fascist dystopian.
So that you can't spread a disease that was killing people.
So then restricting.
Do you think that you should just be allowed to spread a disease?
Well, I
and
think
kill as many people as
that your
possible?
principle of bodily autonomy is making less and less sense because it seems
No.
like as long as we subjectively can claim that you're going to do something which we perceive as being harmful, then we can restrict your bodily
But you
autonomy.
don't- No, it's not subjectively can claim. It's objectively can claim.
Oh, we can
As long
objectively
as
claim
you
it.
can objectively claim that there is either foreseeable risk of causing bodily harm or you are actively causing bodily harm to yourself or others, then an individual deserves bodily autonomy.
Then why don't we restrict swimming pools?
Why would we restrict
Because
swimming
there's a massive foreseeable risk that you're going to cause harm to yourself, your family, or other people who come swimming.
pools? I don't think there's a massive foreseeable. Also, that's why we have lifeguards.
There's a much bigger chance that your percentage as an individual would die probably in a swimming pool than from COVID-19.
But swimming pools are voluntary. We're not forcing everyone to go into a swimming pool.
This is so funny to me. I thought it was about bodily autonomy, not
Yes.
about anything else.
Yes, swimming pools are voluntary.
And you want to restrict
if you
bodily
forced
autonomy.
everyone to go into a swimming pool, then yeah, that'd be fun.
Then why wasn't it voluntary for me to walk into a fucking shop if I wanted to without a mask on?
Well, the shop voluntarily chose to close. If you wanted to open
They
your own
didn't.
shop,
The
you
state
could.
mandated that they close.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks, but
Restriction of bodily autonomy. Like, all of your principles are completely fucking incoherent. They're all incoherent.
no, I'm not. No, it's not. There's
It
still
is.
a foreseeable risk. There was a foreseeable risk that people were going to die.
There's foreseeable risk with everything.
I mean, but also, Andrew, like if you were to open a store during COVID and a bunch of people went to your store, got COVID, and died, they would sue the fuck out of you. I think a
Isn't
lot of
it
those
their
businesses
choice?
would.
Isn't it
be
people's
closed
choice?
anyway?
Isn't it people's choice? Just like the swimming pool?
Just like the swimming pool, going into a restaurant and opening yourself to foreseeable risk. Yes, and lots of people chose to do that.
And then why is it that you just 5 seconds ago said that these restrictions and the lockdowns were totally fine from the state mandating what people do voluntarily?
Brian, look up how many people died during COVID.
You just said the voluntary nature of swimming pools, why we don't restrict them even though they cause bodily harm. Why is the voluntary nature of people engaging in society during COVID not the
Because
same?
you don't voluntarily spread disease. You can't be like, hey, I'm not going to spread disease to that guy because he's immunocompromised. I'm going to
That
keep
guy
my
had the
COVID
choice
over
to stay
here."
home or go out, right?
But you live with other people. That was the issue. If
We
some
don't-
members of a family went out and then some left and then came back and exposed their immunocompromised family members to the illness, they could die.
Then the problem you have
Like, dude,
again
COVID
with
sucked. It was a bummer and it was horrible for businesses.
This is
But
so
I would
funny.
rather have to stay inside or go to a park or go to a public space
Yeah.
than risk killing my grandma and the other immunocompromised people in my life.
Should people who all voluntarily
But that's why the
if
shot
people,
was voluntary.
If people are always voluntary, well, progressives
How
didn't
many
want it to
people
be.
died from COVID?
7 million.
So 7
Yeah.
million people died, Andrew.
Yeah, how many
You don't
people
think
die
that's
every year
enough-
of the common flu?
Sure.
You don't think that's enough of a foreseeable risk?
Let's see how many people die from the common flu.
Wait, are we talking U.S. or just?
The one I provided, the 7 million, I believe that was worldwide.
And that was
Can we
for
do
how many years?
Let's do just U.S. for
Hold
both.
on. Just U.S. for both, 1 sec.
Yeah, because we're talking about the U.S. I mean, other countries don't have the same access to medical, health. as
Some
we
of them have much better.
Yeah, I know. It's a
So
bummer.
globally, the estimates that seasonal flu causes about 290,000 to 650,000 deaths each year.
That seems like a
less
worldwide.
Than 7 million.
That's worldwide.
That's worldwide, and that seems like a lot less.
calm down.
Wait, so can we do U.S.?
Yeah, calm down.
I'll do U.S.
There's no uh-oh.
Whoa, Andrew, I think you're wrong.
That's a foreseeable risk, isn't it?
I don't think statistically it's a high enough foreseeable risk. How many people get the flu every year?
Wait a second. How many people do you think 7 million people is as a percentage of the global population?
Well, isn't the global population like 8.2 billion?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a range, but for 2022, 2023, the CDC estimates about 21,000 deaths due to influenza in the USA.
Okay.
And then you wanted me to look something up?
Yeah, but hang on.
Wait, no, let's
you
keep
gotta
going.
you got to do that not during the COVID lockdowns. That's the important part.
Wait, no, let's keep going.
Because
So
during the COVID
that's-
lockdowns, they reduced significantly.
You want me to check?
Oh,
like,
wow,
the
isn't that
2010s?
nice?
Yeah,
I don't know.
true.
But
If you
the
lock people in their
lockdowns-
houses, they won't spread any illness. That's
Yes,
true.
that was the point. There was multiple illnesses going around that were subjected.
Yeah, people like her, if they take power, if they have any chance to take any power, they will abuse that power right at the gate. They elected a new mayor in Seattle, full social communist, man. She's I think she wants to open or pass a law to force supermarket or grocery store to be open 24/7. I mean, when it comes down to power, these people will abuse it. They're gonna abuse it. We have to be so careful with some of these folks.
People to a
So what
serious
percentage
risk.
what percentage is reasonable for us to implement against bodily autonomy when it leads to death? Is 7 million people yearly?
Well, I think you have to ask a lawyer, Andrew.
I'm
'cause
asking
there is
you.
actually a legal precedent for that.
I'm asking you.
Well, I'm not a lawyer. You should ask a legitimate
I need to
lawyer.
ask a lawyer how many people you think it's legitimate to restrict their bodily autonomy for?
Well, it's a law. Like, it's a literal law.
You don't base your morals on law. You're basing them on bodily autonomy.
No, I'm basing it on the concept of, I'm basing bodily autonomy on the concept of foreseeable risk, which is a law. So why would you
So
ask me
650,000 a year isn't enough of a foreseeable risk?
that? Worldwide?
Yeah.
I would say no if
Well,
there's 8.2 billion people
Why
on
7
Earth.
million if there's 8.2 billion?
Do you not know the difference between 650,000
Yeah, I'm
and 7
trying to
million?
figure out where the threshold breaker here is.
It's a lot bigger. Well, it's not up to me.
Well, but I'm asking because of bodily autonomy. You support this stuff.
Yes, I support saving people's lives. by
Yeah,
staying
so
inside during-
where's the threshold where we can lock people down and restrict their bodily autonomy?
Well, there is a legal threshold.
What
Why
is
don't
your
you ask a
threshold?
lawyer? I don't.
don't have
know.
one.
Well, it's
Yeah,
based
you
on a
don't know.
legal precedent. Why should every single individual person just get to decide? I think it's this. I'm not a lawyer.
This is so ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous, Andrew.
Okay.
What is
Shall
the
we,
point of
switch
asking
prompts?
Yeah, we
me
can
a
switch.
Shall we,
legal
let's switch prompts.
definition when I'm not a lawyer?
What do you guys think about this one? Black people can be racist towards white people. Would you guys like to do
Yeah,
that
I'm
one?
fine with that.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that before we move on, should we define racism?
Yeah.
How do you
The
define
semantics?
racism? Yeah, we should just get the semantics out of the way so we can actually have a conversation. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so-
it
It's
keeps
okay, you're fine.
annoying me.
So I would do I have a more classical definition,
Okay, let's hear it.
which would be the hatred or bigotry of an entire race.
Is that it? Hold on. So the hatred or bigotry of an entire race on the basis of what? Race?
Or most of the race.
On the basis of race, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's your only definition of racism?
Yeah, I think that, yes.
Okay, cool. Do you mind if I pull up the dictionary definition of racism?
Well, you can pull up whatever you want, sure.
Okay, well, so I think there's two main types of racism that are involved in what you just said. So what Andrew just described perfectly was interpersonal racism, which is prejudice, discriminatory actions between individuals based on their hatred of the entire race. And then there's also what we see in this country, which is systemic and structural racism, which is, again, since we have to define systems, a complex system of laws, policies, and practices that create and perpetuate racial inequality. So this would be essentially the patriarchy, but on the basis of race, if we're going back to our definition of the patriarchy. Now, where...
Oh yeah, she doesn't support life at all. She loves deleting the unborn. Oh yeah, 100%. And this is classic feminism. It's classic feminism. I think it's because it's the only thing that they control. You see what I'm saying? When you allow feminists to take control, most of the time they will decide. They'll be in the side of no protection, sacrificing life, and we see them all the time. Because to protect, listen to this. To protect, you need to have confrontation. Listen to this. To protect, that means you need to confront. You need a confrontation. That's why when it comes down to females holding political office, they tend to be very passive, because for them to protect, they need to have some kind of aggression. And females don't like to confront. They don't. So what do they do? They allow the criminals to do whatever the hell they want. So it's the same with the unborn. It's the same with the unborn. They have to protect their kids. They need some action, some protection, going through the process, taking care of, and they don't like that. So they just go with the deletion of the baby. It's the lowest hanging fruit as well.
I agree with Andrew, is that anyone can be interpersonally racist.
Okay, well then that's the end of that prompt.
No, it's not, because there are multiple forms of racism.
What's the prompt, Maya?
And the power.
Read the prompt.
Blacks can be racist towards white. I mean, dude, we agreed on the last prompt and we still talked about it for like another hour. So let's get into it.
Well, hang on. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Can you read the prompt, Brian?
Yes.
Yeah, black people can be racist.
And you're
towards
agreeing
white
that
people.
that's the case?
I just read that.
Okay.
Yes.
Shall we move to a different prompt then?
No, I think we should continue with this one. I actually
Well, if you
really
both agree, then.
It was the one that I thought was the most interesting. I mean,
So you
I
want
guess,
to talk
all
about
right.
systemic racism? We can.
I guess
Go
if
ahead.
you don't want to move on, if you want to move on to another prompt, we can. But all I will say is, although blacks can be racist towards whites, the system that perpetuates inequality works in favor of white people. So while yes, it might hurt your feelings, it doesn't have a broader impact on your life, like genuinely decreasing your quality of life and standard of living. It's not backed by any power.
Why don't I read some of the other prompts? And if you want to return to this one, we can.
Okay.
So we have feminism enslaved women instead of liberating them.
That one I think is hilarious. I would be down to do that one.
Women just as violent as men,
Thank you.
if not more. Problems with democracy.
The camera
forced
be
doctrine,
acting
the
up a little
Let's
bit.
do women more violent.
Thank you so much. Split.
Okay.
It sounded like you wanted the feminism
I'll do
enslaved
either one of
women,
those. I like both of
Okay,
them.
so we'll do.
Let me know if it works. If it is working right now.
Let's do feminism enslaved women instead of liberating them. Or are you really keen on the?
I don't care
women
either
just-
way.
Okay,
Neither
we'll
one
do
matters.
both.
But I would it's 5:30. Just real quick, take a smoke break and then get back to this while you take some super chats.
I'm team.
Yeah.
The one thing that we
do
can agree on today
While
is
we
the smoke
have-
breaks. I love
Can
it.
you guys do it simultaneously though?
No, because part of
Just
it is
for
a
the
break from the
I'll be super
debate.
quick.
Well, what's that?
No, because part of it is you get a break from the debate, some fresh air, clear your head, come back, be locked in.
Yeah, I'll take 5
Yeah.
minutes.
So what
Can we
we'll
do each get a 5?
You'll have 5, but Nick can bring you somewhere
yeah.
else. Okay, just go with Nick. Yep. All right, guys, they're taking a brief break. They're each smoky man bad, smoky girl bad. They're just going to take a quick smoke break. So really quick, guys, as soon as they come back, we'll actually do a Q&A session super quick. And something a lot of you oftentimes.
Let's
If
see.
you guys can get the questions, Kenneth, appreciate it. Let's see. RB, if you do run, you want some
Christianity, Orthodox Judaism?
Christianity.
Christianity.
Orthodox Christianity?
I think that's for you. Scuba Bear, appreciate it. We have a
A
question.
message from the government of Canada.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, not
George
Patsy
donated
George.
$200 and
All right. Jihad Pork with this $5 super chat said, for the mustache. Hey, thank you so much, man. Let me just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, make sure that it's nice and groomed. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for that, Jihad.
Dude, this man is going to drain his...
Brown
Don't you feel kind of bad for these
slavery
people?
was good, and I let
He's
you
a
know
Giga
why.
Chad.
If slavery
He's a
had never
Giga Chad.
existed, we wouldn't have the
don't think a Giga
innovative
Chad would be
music we have
blessing.
today.
Yo, the gaslighting. It's just the gaslighting. You see how she's the AI thing? It's just reading the question. It's just simply just talking in the middle of it. It's just gaslighting, bro.
Man is going to drain his...
Brown
Don't you feel kind of bad for these
slavery
people?
was good, and I let
He's
you
a
know
Giga
why.
Chad.
If slavery
Is he a
had
Giga
never
Chad?
existed, we wouldn't
I
have
don't
the
think a Giga
innovative
Chad would be
music we have
listening.
today, minus the devolving rap for brain-dead thug wannabes.
What is he talking about? If slavery would have never existed, we wouldn't have. So you think we should have slavery is justified because it made good music?
Should I disavow that? I don't know. Do you want to?
Come on, Brian, that was a rough one. Like, you gotta admit, that was just stupid.
Hey,
I mean, that is maybe props to you, Patsy. I think that is one of the worst justifications.
Pasty.
Oh, not Patsy?
Not Patsy, not
Oh,
Pasty.
it's Pasty. Sorry.
You can call him George or Pasty.
Pasty. I
or
think
PG.
I
He
like
likes
Pasty.
PG.
Props to you, Pasty. I think that might be one of the worst justifications for slavery I've ever heard.
Mr. Fernan Garcia, thank you, man, for the super chat. If morality is subjective, I think suffering is good. Hypothetically, I have a big army and more willing and capable to enact force than you. Outside of God, how am I wrong?
Well, I don't think morality is subjective. So I think morality is based on natural law, which is objective.
She's a little, I don't know, man. I mean, she has the potential to be very smart. Smarter than me. She has the potential to be very smart. However, I don't understand why taking these weird positions. They hold no standards in, really fighting for something. I just don't understand why. Why she chose to just be like this.
All right, guys, if you want to get the message in again, $200 Q&A. Let's get into the next prompt, though. Welcome back, everybody. All right, do you guys both smoke Marlboros, by the way?
No, I smoke Turkish Royals.
I see. Okay. Do you have thoughts on? You guys want to debate the best
Cigarette? You smoke Cowboy Killers?
Yeah.
I don't hate them. I feel like everyone starts with Marlboros, so I feel like they're kind of basic. I feel like the Marb Golds are better, but.
All right.
I don't spice my food either.
So
You don't spice your food?
I'm kidding. It's I'm memeing. It's a meme.
next prompt.
Oh, I'm sorry. That just sounded like something you would do.
Feminism enslaved women instead of liberating them.
Yeah.
Okay, Andrew. I think you got to start because I genuinely just want to
Yes,
hear.
Andrew, if you'd like to start
Yeah.
on this.
Yeah, so the first thing is I'm going to tell you all the things I don't consider to be slavery.
Okay.
So I don't consider not having voting rights slavery.
Okay. Do you want to just define slavery instead of telling me everything that's not slavery?
Yeah, well, hang on, I will. I'll
Okay.
define that too.
Well, you just skip to the good part.
Calm down. So I don't consider not having voting rights to be slavery, and I don't consider having having certain social benefits instead of voting rights to be slavery at all. So I don't consider lack of suffrage or an inability for, like, I don't know, other things like higher education, things like this. I don't consider any of that to be slavery, even if it were the case that we didn't quibble over what that means.
I also don't think that those.
Yeah,
are slavery.
exactly. So I don't think that women at the time of feminism were slaves at all. Okay.
I don't either. I mean, black women.
Do you want me
who were
to? Do you want me to
enslaved.
give the at the time of the 19th Amendment?
No, I thought you were talking about like during slavery,
What?
legitimate like American slavery. No.
On a highlight 1, 2, 3, you're saying it's just a logical path to denying God. Interesting. What do you mean by that? That's interesting.
What? No. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Anyway, so I don't consider women at the time of women's suffrage to have been slaves at all.
Okay.
I do, however, slavery is very nebulous. And Brian, if you can pull up a few definitions.
Sure.
I
And
could
we'll
just give you the Merriam-Webster definition. I literally wrote it down.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's a bit of nebulousness here that I think we need to clarify in the semantics for what slavery is.
Okay.
So go ahead and pull up the definitions, Brian.
Well, it's good. Okay, I mean, it's the state of being a slave.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
know if that's
not
particularly
good.
helpful.
Can I
The
give you a
practice-
definition?
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's what, because I know it's, when you look it up, it's always the practice of being a slave, which is stupid.
Slave definition, yeah.
Here's what I would say. I would say forced and or involuntary labor without pay.
No.
You want me to
Here's
do the...
but here no. Here's why. Here's why I would
Why?
Do you want to know why?
Sure, I guess I do.
Because I'm not sure that that encompasses another type of slavery.
What's the other type of slavery?
Well, indentured servitude.
Do you want me to read
that
the one?
is without pay, though. So it
No,
is
it's
encompassed
well,
in slavery.
not really. So
Yes, it is.
no, it's not. Just let me make the case.
Do you want me to read
Okay,
the
what? Do you know what indentured slavery even is?
Indentured slavery or indentured servitude?
They're the same thing.
Indentured servitude is when you essentially got a patron who would allow you to come to America
Mm-hmm.
or this country, and then you had to work off your time
debt.
spent, your debt for coming to this
So it
country.
wasn't without
through work.
pay.
Well, I think that it was essentially not enough money. Like
So
the amount, 7 years of indentured servitude is not equivalent to one
Well,
boat
maybe
ride.
not. But
so I would say that's
But
without
I
pay.
consider that slavery.
Okay.
And I consider that indentured servants who were coming in, I think that they were being paid. They were just all their pay was going to a debt. So that's the distinction that I would make there.
No, I agree with you. And I think that to that point, sharecropping would also be slavery because it was a similar, all of your money was going towards a debt. So you were not being paid.
So my basic argument here
I
is
still think that we're agreeing on our definition, though. Can we
Okay.
just define our terms? Are we
Do you
cool
want me
with
to
that
read the few
definition?
definitions?
Yeah, sure.
Just for slave.
Mm-hmm.
One, a person who is forced to work for and obey another and is considered to be their property, an enslaved person.
Yes.
Next one, a person who works very hard without proper remuneration.
remuneration.
I'm sorry.
Or
I'm gonna
remunerations.
Remuneration or appreciation. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
No, Brian, it's okay.
A person who is excessively dependent upon or controlled by something.
Mm-hmm.
An ant captured in its pupal state.
So hang on. The previous definition.
I do just want to say, Brian.
Read the previous
54%.
definition.
Yeah. I do just want to say, Brian, 54% of the population reads below a sixth grade reading level. So you're doing pretty good.
Damn. Yeah, damn. That was not a compliment. That was an egg, bro. You ask why she thinks this way. I'm saying it's simply because she doesn't believe in God. Very few options after that. Oh, I see what you're saying. So because she doesn't believe in God, so she's, whatever the wind's blowing, that's what she's believing, right? So if I guess that's the point. Yeah, I think you're right.
Thank you. A person who is excessively dependent upon or controlled by something.
A person who's excessively dependent or controlled. I agree that would be a form of slavery. So
Okay.
here's where my essential argument is.
Right.
Is that women could not incur debt. And I consider that a massive incurrence of debt, like what you would get with indentured servitude, that you then have to work doing things that your preference is definitely against doing, is a form of slavery. And so my argument here is that ultimately what has happened through the idea of all women need to go to college, which has been a massive feminist talking point, is that they're under crushing student debt, generally speaking, for degrees they don't even need. And I would say that is not liberating at all. I would say that women have become debt slaves to the economy, and before feminism, they could not incur debt themselves under coverture laws. So I would say that they have a form of slavery, or at least more akin to a form of slavery, under state debt than was worth it for a right to vote that barely makes a significant difference anyway.
Spliffy, you're saying atheist people are childish as F. Well, the thing is, they're not. It's not that they're childish. They like humility. See, they like humility, and they like to approach a lot of these conversations about morals and values, always demoralizing Christianity. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so to those points, I cannot speak for other feminists, but I will speak for myself. Nobody is forcing women to go to college under feminism. Like, yeah, sure, we are encouraging women, and part of the feminist movement was to fight for the right, well, I guess fight isn't right, but to advocate for the right of equal education opportunity. But the difference is that it's not involuntary.
Yeah.
It's voluntary. Like a woman today
So was
could still
indentured servitude, and you agreed it's slavery.
Yes, but a woman today could still choose not to be a student and go
They
to
could choose
school
then not
and
to be indentured
engage in
servant.
higher education.
They could agree then not to be indentured servants. It's the same principle applied.
No, it's not the same principle because what
the
were they
same principle.
leaving? Like if you're leaving a potato famine, you don't really have an option. Either you're dying or you're now in a
You still have
indentured servant.
options, and it's your choice. And the same reason that many women will incur a massive amount of college debt is because
No,
they're trying.
you're conflating two things
They're
that are
trying to
not at all
leave
similar.
terrible economic conditions. That's why they do it.
Yeah, of course. That's
So
why
I would
they do
argue
it.
that the burden of
feminism
these
is not
massive student loan
forcing.
programs, which are designed specifically to incentivize women.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Pleafy. A lot of them be saying effed God and stupid stuff. Yeah, that's I agree. That's a childish behavior. I agree with that.
to incur huge amounts of debt, which they do.
The blasphemy
has
aspect,
actually been more of a form of economic slavery than anything that they had pre-feminism under coverture laws, where they were not allowed to incur debt. They did not have debt, which
By the
they
way,
could incur.
under curvature laws, women were also not allowed to keep their earnings. All of the money that they made from doing literally anything had to go to their husbands.
That
But-
is not true,
It is.
especially with inheritances.
But going back to this belief that incurring debt through a university that you voluntarily choose to go to is somehow slavery, then wouldn't anyone who takes out a loan be a slave regardless of whether or not they're a man or a woman?
I think usury is real bad.
So
And
you
the
believe that
idea-
every single person who is going to college voluntarily and voluntarily taking student debt is now a slave to that university?
They are.
Okay, so either you don't understand slavery or you don't understand
Then,
the higher education
then
system.
tell me what the distinction is between that and indentured servitude, which have the exact same qualifiers.
Well, the difference is, first of all, we're in a much different society.
Correct. To reject Christ is willfully ignorance. I agree with that. If you to understand how the Western world, or even Europe, was built, is and to reject Christianity, it's very hard to make an argument, because those societies basically were built in Christianity. Everything was built surrounded by Christianity. And funny enough, that by taking Christianity out of the equation, guess what is happening? Migration is taking over. And what are they doing? They see an emptiness and spirituality, and they're putting their religion, their own religion. And guess what is happening? We're losing the culture. This culture war that we have right now against wokeism is basically the absence of Christianity in the Western world. That's what it is. That's what it is.
That's
in which
not an
higher education
argument.
is not
Give me the argument of the
required.
principle of indentured servitude, which is voluntarily taking out a huge sum of money and then paying it back through work, right? And you have to pay that money back, or else there's serious fucking penalties for that, just like there is for student loans. In principle, what is the distinction here? They're both voluntary.
The
Both.
principle is that under an indentured servitude, you're working for 7 years, and your owner.
You're working for a lot longer than
You
that,
are
often with
owned,
student
though.
debts.
It's the concept of ownership. You are not owned by a company.
No.
by
It
a
wasn't
college.
chattel slavery. You weren't owned the same way. No. But you were responsible to pay that debt off via the agreement of the contract, just like you are with one of these huge student loans for useless debt.
Look, I
and
think
hang on,
student
it's
loans
not
fucking
just that
suck,
debt.
but it's not slavery.
It's not
Andrew.
just
you
that
gotta
debt.
be so for real, man. It's not slavery.
Then you shouldn't have agreed that indentured servitude is slavery, because it meets the same qualifiers.
It does not meet the same.
What's the
qualifiers.
distinction?
Because the owner of the indentured servant, and I'm going to use owner in this scenario.
They're not owned the
Is-
same way as you owned to chattel slavery.
Yes, but during indentured servitude, they would often push the goalposts and be like, "Oh, you owe me more and more and more money."
They do it same way with compound interest rates from student loans.
But we understand the interest rate. It's up front.
They understood the interest rate because it was up front. That's
No,
why they
they
signed
didn't.
contracts. Yes, they had to adhere to the contracts the
Dude,
same
no,
way.
they didn't. Half of them weren't even literate.
Yes,
like, that's completely
they
different.
did. And just because people are doing things which are illegal, it was within the confines of the law. They had to adhere to the contract. These were supposed to be free white men. That's different than chattel slavery. That's why they had certain things afforded to them
Okay.
that were not afforded to chattel slaves. And my argument is...
So then I guess you've defeated your own purpose.
Yeah, you've made...
So you've argued against indentured servitude being slavery, and
No,
college
I'm
debt being
arguing
slavery.
like you are that it was slavery.
You're
and I'm
conflating two
saying
things
that
that are
this is the
completely
same
different.
thing. It's a form of economic slavery along with the propaganda, which is trying to push women for useless degrees, especially, and giving them loans, which they didn't get.
Saint Jerome, isn't that the dude that just translate the Bible into Latin. Right? I think it would translate from Greek to Latin, right? Let me know in the comment section below. I mean, in the
Penalties on,
chat.
and they do get penalties.
So what is your solution, Andrew?
To what?
To eliminating the slavery of
It doesn't
college?
need to have a solution.
Well,
We
it
just
does.
need to agree that this is a form of economic slavery. That's it.
I don't believe it's a form of economic slavery because it's a choice.
Then neither was indentured servitude.
Okay, sure.
So indentured servants weren't slaves?
Fine.
Okay.
There we go.
I
There you
will
go.
do it if you, as long as you bite that bullet.
Next prompt?
Yeah,
I
next
mean,
prompt.
I guess that's why they
prompt?
called them indentured servants and not indentured slaves.
All right.
So you
She's
don't
tired.
wait. So
Yeah, she's tired. She's tired. That's why she's conceding a lot.
Go ahead. We're going to the next one. I'm
so
done.
wait,
I'm
no.
done.
Go back.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
then
yeah.
are you?
We'll go to the next
wait, No,
one.
Andrew. Hold on,
her ask.
Brian.
All right, go ahead.
I got it.
So then,
Let her-
Andrew,
let her
if
ask the
I'm
question.
conceding that indentured servitude isn't slavery, then are you conceding that feminism isn't enslaving
No,
women?
I'm still literally gonna stick by the definition that
Okay, well,
almost
I think
all
your
sources
definition
would
of slavery
consider
is-
indentured servitude a form of slavery due to the crushing debt
No.
and the lack of choice that brought. I'm gonna argue that the same thing is the case through all forms of crushing debt, which are brought by corporate or state bodies against peoples, forms of slavery that women did not have to deal with before feminism, that feminism introduced. Therefore, I think they're less free now than they ever were because of the word
First
debt.
of all, I don't think you can blame feminism for this.
They're the ones who advocated for
but
it.
We're not forcing women to go to college. We're giving them the option
Okay.
of going to college. And
It doesn't matter
people can
what you
go
call
to
it.
college who can, like, what if a woman could just afford to go to college and she wants to go?
Until you can tell me the distinct criterion difference between the crushing debt of indentured servitude and the crushing debt of college loans, which are often targeted at minorities and people have very little in the way of means to pay these loans back, and they give them to them based on useless degrees,
I agree.
often, right?
I'm not
I
arguing
don't
any of these
understand
points.
how you could say that not only you would have to admit that not only is that's a bad thing, but how's that not a form of economic slavery?
Andrew, I'm not arguing any of these points. I'm arguing that this isn't the responsibility of feminism. Feminism created an option, but the concept of college debt was not made by feminism.
Who pushed for it?
Who pushed for
Who
college
pushed for
debt?
women to go to college and have it financed by the government?
No. Who pushed for who created college debt? Was it feminist? No.
Yes, feminists
So
pushed
feminists-
for women to
No.
go to college
But
and
that's-
take out student
so do you
loans.
not understand the
This is the
question?
third wave feminists,
Do you want
by
me
the
to
way.
understand the question?
Hold on, one at a
Do you want me
time,
to
please.
reiterate
Oh
the
my
question?
God, go ahead.
Who created college debt?
Created it?
Yes.
Financial institutions
Okay,
who
so
work
then
alongside
financial
the government.
institutions are the slavers,
No.
not feminists.
No, because it's feminists who. What's the prompt? That feminism did more to enslave women than to free them, right? Or to keep them, or give them more rights, or give them more freedoms in society. That's what we're talking about.
But you
and
can't
here's the
blame
truth.
feminists for the
Feminists,
creation
I
of
can
college
and I
debt.
am.
No, you
Feminists
can't.
did.
Well, it's stupid.
Well, let me make the
There we
argument.
go.
And then
Because you have no argument. You have to say that because you have no argument. Because you know where Andrew's going to go. Student debt is just a new thing, guys. It was not there before. It was not a thing. Student loans and all that stuff it's just a new thing.
respond to it.
Sure.
Feminists did absolutely push for women in higher education. They pushed to have it financed by the state. And they, by the way, modern feminists still push it. Modern feminists right this second are still pushing that women go to college and take on college debt if necessary to get a degree.
Look at
That's
it.
what they push.
The first student loans were created in the United States in 1958, of course, through the National Defense Education Act. This program provided loans to students in fields considered critical to national defense and science engineering. Of course, right? And then the last one was in 1992. A direct lending pilot program was created to move away from the guarantee loan model towards loans that came directly from the government, as outlined in the Higher Education Amendment of 1992. So the 1992 is the one that we know today. That's what we know today. That's what people getting in high debts. And this is what increasing the prices of credits in universities, right? This is all, since 1958, all the way to 1992, it's all post-World War II when feminism started just getting a lot of steam.
More than anything, in fact.
What we were pushing is the right to go to college. The right. Do you understand that? Before feminism, women were not allowed to pursue
Yeah, I know.
a degree
You're
in
pushing
higher
for the right to
education.
indentured servitude.
We're not, okay, but we didn't create, feminism didn't create the quote-unquote indentured servitude.
They did.
No, we didn't.
You did.
Who created college debt,
If there
Andrew?
wasn't this massive,
most circular-ass
if there
argument I've ever
wasn't
heard.
incentive, right, for these companies to create these diploma mills, and the only reason they're creating these diploma mills is because the student loan programs, which are coming out of the federal government.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's going on. I'm sure you
Yes.
have student loans, and it sucks. Like, I'm sorry. That sucks. It does suck.
There you go.
know,
Yeah.
I'm
the
sorry.
saddest part is I agree with
And
you
I'm
on
sorry
most
that
of
you're being
this.
crushed under that weight, but I'm telling you right now that was not done by the malicious patriarchy. This is feminists, and feminists even currently, who really pushed hard that all women need to go to college. They all need to go. They all need to go. And all these student loans and the crushing debt now, and women are responsible for so much of that debt. I would argue that is way worse, that these women now have to go work these menial fucking jobs and shit like this to pay back their student loans to the fucking federal government. It's so bad now
I know.
that now you have a new wave of feminists trying to come out and just ask for free everything. They're like, oh, just please, student debt forgiveness.
May I
They
talk?
crushed.
May I
Go
talk?
ahead.
I mean, Andrew, I completely agree with you. I mean, I'm literally having this conversation with you right now to pay off my student debt. But my issue is that I don't think, like, all of these problems are real, but I don't think the blame and the onus is on feminists. I think the blame and the onus is on a capitalist system that is designed to fuck all of us. It's not even just women, it's men too. Like, men
Loans
also.
from the federal government isn't capitalism.
I mean, men are also. Oh.
No.
So you don't think
Loans
that,
are supposed to
you
come
don't
from
think
private
that the
equity
private
firms.
college fund
I don't
and
think
the
that
push,
I don't think that private equity firms.
you don't think that these
private
diploma mills
The diploma. Listen,
based on capitalism?
The private equity firms, right, would not be financing people who are going to school for fucking basket weaving, okay? Because their chance of getting paid back would be way less.
Very
It's
bad.
because these loans are backed by the federal government that they're even possible, because equity firms would laugh at them. So the thing is like, look, as we look at this from the bird's eye view, right? You and I agree that system is fucked, okay?
Yes, I do.
And yes, absolutely, feminists push for that system in a big way. And my argument essentially is simple. It's just saying, and you know what? You could even caveat it. You could be like, you know what? Feminists did a lot of great things. This one wasn't it. And as long as you're willing to make the concession, like, look, that sort of financial slavery is way worse than what they had pre-19th Amendment, because it is, then I think we have an accord and we can move to the next prompt.
Can I do a closing statement?
Yeah.
And if you feel like we're done, then I'm good to be done with this one. I think the main point that I will make is that feminism was not about forcing women to go to college, but before feminism, women physically could not go to college. It was about creating equal opportunity, because although colleges are fucked with the way that they absolutely steal from students by proliferating college debt,
Do you
some
consider that a form
degrees-
of financial slavery?
Yes, but some degrees are actually worthwhile.
Look.
And women should have the right to pursue those degrees.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're not following pursuing those degrees. They're not doing that. They're getting degrees that are not. They don't contribute almost anything to the infrastructure of the United States. Spliffy, you're saying loans are a choice. You make the choice and sign for the loan. It's nobody else's fault. Yeah, that's right there. You got it. Yeah. Loans. I have student loans myself, man. And it's just a pain, bro. It is a pain, man. It's a pain. And I have a master's degree in classical music as a classical pianist, and I'm not even using my degree because they pay so low, man. I'm making I'm doing different things in different channels, and I'm making more money with. Like, it's crazy, man. But yeah, usually females, when they go to these institutions, they just graduate with stupid degrees, psychology and gender study, all the stuff that really doesn't contribute to the infrastructure of the United States or the country. And this is not only in the United States, this is overall around the world.
as well.
I just want to point out that
It shouldn't. It's the inequality that feminists are fighting against. But in no universe are we trying to force every single woman to go to college, even if they don't want to, and it doesn't make financial sense for them. No one is advocating for that. I am an avowed feminist, and I would never say that to another woman.
So
Bullshit.
anyway, these were the same arguments that were being used for the pushing of indentured slavery. Since indentured servitude, same exact thing. Nobody's forcing you to do it. We're just making sure that people have the ability to do it because they don't have enough money to get here. Hang on.
Yeah,
I didn't interrupt your closing.
that's fair.
Okay. The indentured servants, they want to come here. They just can't afford it. Okay, so we can charge them whatever they want. And doesn't that really just make their life better because we're giving them the option to do it? These are the same exact arguments that were made for that. Same exact thing. And so the thing is like, look, fine. That's great that you like want this option, right? But that doesn't change the fact that feminism created the conditionals for this. Not the patriarchy and not coverture laws. Feminism, hang on, created the conditionals for this. And since they did and they advocated for it, they pushed everyone into it, they made a bunch of economic slaves out of otherwise viable women in their fertile years who could have gotten married.
I mean, can I just respond to that? The thing, though, is that it wasn't
Yes,
that...
correct. The Spliffy, you're right. They get degrees based on preferences instead of demand. Yeah.
Women weren't allowed to be indentured servants, and then only men could be indentured servants, and then feminists pushed for women to be indentured servants. Like, the issue is that men could go to college, but women couldn't. We didn't have the option. We were fighting for the option.
Most men only got the option to start going to college en masse, right? Only slightly before women did. That's one. And two, let me just point this out, that if college was really about rewarding the best and the brightest, not everybody could go. And the entirety of the push for this should always have been for that anyway. And what happened is feminists made a bunch of economic slaves out of women that they really didn't need to make out of women. And they still, by the way, on every mainstream network, this is what you'll see female feminists in modernity saying. Go to college, go to college, go to school, because a lot of them are paid fucking shills, in fact. Okay? So yeah, feminism did bring the conditionals for this. They did make economic slaves. And here's the thing, as long as you agree, and here's maybe the olive branch that we can get. Fine, you don't want to call it slavery, economic slavery, don't call it economic slavery. I think that in any other conditional, though, as an avowed socialist like you would use that exact language, economic slavery. You just don't want to blame it on feminism. You want to blame it on capitalism.
No,
but it's like, even if I say
I agree with you that the system is
but even
fucked,
if I
but
make,
I don't believe
can
that
we have an olive branch? Can we have an olive branch then that that forms of bad capitalism mixed with bad feminist ideology created the conditionals for this? Maybe that's the olive branch.
I think it's forms of bad capitalism that created the conditionals for this that everyone experiences. And I also feel like you're kind of downplaying what men have to deal with as well. I mean, men are in this same freaking boat.
No, well, not really. Men are moving towards the trades. They understand that there's a massive scammery going on with college.
You're always gonna need electricians. You're always gonna need plumbers. That never's gonna go. That never's gonna get old. You're always gonna need plumbers, and you are gonna always need electricians. Always.
They're moving into trades, and they don't have to spend as much. In fact, they get paid. Most of the time when you're training, training for a trade, you get paid a high amount of money. Most trade schools that you go to, maybe you go for 6-8 weeks, and then you're assigned as an apprentice, or sometimes you just start as an apprentice and you work for 4 years, and you're getting paid the entire time.
Yeah.
That seems like the opposite of economic slavery. This seems like it is, and I think that feminists created the conditionals, and I'll leave it there.
But feminists also gave women access to go to trade school as well. Like all forms of higher education, feminists fought for the right to women to attend to.
Bad.
And then we can choose among those.
It was higher education.
But even if you give that argument, why in the hell you want a female to just be doing plumbing or electrician? Why? Well, what's the value of that? What's the value when you're not even creating life? It's just stupid. I mean, you can have of course, you can have the option, I guess, but it should not be your choice. It should not be that choice. Yeah, let's put females in to do plumbing because that's somehow it's gonna contribute to the betterment of society. That's stupid.
Women weren't fighting to get into trade schools.
You don't think trade schools are a form of higher education? Hey, man, don't
They
knock
weren't
trade school.
fighting to go weld. Okay?
It's the equality of opportunity.
They weren't fighting to go weld.
Do you understand what the equality of opportunity is?
Oh, give me a break.
It's
that wasn't what it was about.
opportunity.
It was about a bunch of industrialists hornswoggling you into becoming second-class citizens because you became economic cogs.
Okay, I'll just close this out. I think we can agree that the college education system needs some severe reformation.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that we can agree that it's fucking a lot of Americans, both men and women.
I don't want to hear that. I really don't want to hear that. I think I'm gonna just do my closing statement here myself. I think I'm gonna just call it a night. Listen, man. Listen, I do think personally, that we have the momentum just to get rid of a lot of damage that has been done in the last couple of years with feminism. However, what concerns me is how people tend to do a lot of these situations like their own. They want to be the main character. And currently, the red pill, the manosphere, even the right wing, they're going through a lot. And you see people like her, they're gonna take advantage of this. You can tell her arguments are bad. They usually just use gaslighting to just get away with a lot of these talking points. And they did it for years, guys. They did it for 60 years. It was all about gaslighting. Even when you hear the old interviews with Thomas Sowell, just going back and forth with these feminists, it was the same thing. Even in the 90s, it was the same thing. CNN and MSNBC, those early 2000 interviews, gaslighting. Even in 2016, it was all gaslighting. You know, at some point, we have to just be focused and to achieve the goal that is basically, I'm all for the repealing the 19th. But like I said before, you have to go through multiple steps to get there. First, make sure that you have a civil test. A civil test to know whether or not you're capable to understand how the government of the United States is run. And if you really understand how this political process is, you know, how it does operate. Secondly, as a woman, you have to be married. You have to be married. That's the only way you can just vote. Marry. Why? Because your husband signed up for the draft. If you're a single female, that'll be the third one. You become single. No, the third one will be abolishing alimony and child support. Eliminate that. And then if you're single, you cannot vote. And then at the end, repealing the 19th Amendment. It has to be by steps, right? You do multiple steps to get to the point where you can just achieve that. It cannot be from 0 to 100. It cannot happen like that. But you know, small wins like that, that's how the feminists did it. And that's how a lot of these Marxists and communists did it. We can see it in Portland, we can see it in Seattle, we can see it now in New York City. This is a lot of this is just slow walking, right? Slow walking just to get what they want. I have to say, guys, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for Jihad Pork Farmer. Thank you so much for just sponsoring the today's show. That really helps, man. Yeah, mostly this channel, I don't make a lot of money from this channel. This channel is very, you know, it's mostly for the cause, I will say. Mostly for the cause. And yeah, they're gonna hate us. A lot of people are gonna hate Andrew, guys. This is gonna happen. You see it right now, even in the manosphere. They hate Andrew, especially with the Coach Great Adams debate. Although I do agree with some of Coach Great Adams' prescriptions. I think he does have a point. I think he's right. The best way to just avoid divorce is not getting married. That's true, right? But descriptively, he's saying like you should just do your free agent lifestyle to make sure you can just optimize your life. But at the same time, is that conducive for a better society? No, of course not. Because what you're doing is you're validating the punani. You're validating some of these whores, right? And we don't want to do that. With that, guys, I'm gonna just close today's stream. Thank you so much for the support, guys. And with that, I will see you in the next one. I'm out.